Welcome to Cyberpunk 2030 A Better Tomorrow。
goodness.
I love the face.
Oh,
She's gonna be huge.
She's only 3 months old.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be huge. She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
her mom and grandma are bigger than our old Irish Wolfhound, so she's probably gonna be like 140.
If I ever get a
Hey, go
property with some room on it, I want to get some more Irish Wolfhounds. My uncle always had them.
So clearly, I brought everybody in as we were talking about doggos. So, welcome back to Cyberpunk 2030, A Better Tomorrow, which, for the time being, it looks like our edge runners might be suffering through a better tomorrow, at least on the back end of what happened at the end of the season 1 finale. So, bringing this up to season 2, we have actually time lapsed 3 months into the future. We've already awarded out the IP for this month, as well as all of the birthday IP. So we got quite a bit. So as usual in our games, because we have so many people with birthdays in October, it's Christmas in October.
Yes.
So we tend to get a lot of points. I'm expecting something similar happening in Vampire as well as Marvel when we go to play that. So, so at any rate, getting everything up to date. Now, I will tell my players, please make sure you notate this on the character sheet, because if for some reason I ask you for it and you don't know, you don't have it. This is super important. There is a spot for it on your character sheet. I don't know about Mike's. I think it should be. But this is your reputation.
Yes.
So everybody who was participated in the there was a firefight in the midst of Maryvale. You have reputation now at this point.
Ooh.
You guys actually have something to your group's name and you as individuals. Amore and Sam, your reputations are 4.
Ooh, damn.
Skulls and Ghost, you have reputations of 3. Octavia, you have a 2.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Stolas, you partied. And for your epic partying, you have a 1.
Nice.
It has obviously nothing to do with the firefight whatsoever. It's more because you're a part of that group. But the Quins like you.
And
like I said, I'm working on social relationships. That way, at least one gang doesn't want us dead by the end of all of this.
Sure.
I assume this rep comes from him being dragged out of many bars, completely passed out, smashed.
Oh yeah, with Smash.
Smash. Smash from
Snorting
Smash.
the orange synth coke.
Oh my god.
You know, we're talking like the whole ordeal. So
Nova.
in this 3-month time
Rocker
span,
boy.
so in this 3-month time span, some things have happened of note. Obviously, outside of just the reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have you're going to have to draw. I'm going to need you guys to draw up the clubhouse as well as the property adjacent to that, and we can go back and find that, so you have at least a rough estimate of what that particular block looks like if you need to look it up again.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to want to do that. Obviously, there's nothing in the in the building north. It was completely vacant. You guys have managed to, thankfully, you actually have the 50 cal to thank. After it blasted some holes in the building, it gave you the chance to remodel. And Brittany, what's the quote again? It's strategically.
Oh gosh.
Let
me look it up. Oh, strategically transport. Let's see.
Transform.
Strategically transport equipment to an alternate location.
Yes.
Yeah. Steel.
Steel. Yes. that is literally what has happened. Nobody particularly cares. So you have claimed squatters' rights over this particular building. You have used the rubble to refashion it some. And because of everything that's kind of happened and your positive rep that you have in the area, that little section of Maryvale is growing. So there is, you actually have across from the street, they've cleaned up the building you guys demoed. So there's still rubble there, but they've at least pushed it like off to the side, so there's room and whatnot. There are two carts of of guys that end up selling, scop dishes of some kind. Scop dogs or scop kebabs, that sort of thing. So you've got that across the street. So they've got some tables and some chairs, none of which match. But this is the combat zone. Nobody cares about that. The fact that they have tables and chairs, that's actually the premium. You actually have across the street, the building that was directly across the street from there. I believe was the little kind of like banking area and whatnot. That building has been mostly repaired to the pre-fallout damage it had before, meaning it probably won't leak if you get rained on, but you probably need to roll a d10 for percentile on that one. But right there, some people have actually turned that into a little shop. They sell clothing and knickknacks out of that shop right there. Directly across from that, where they which had been a which actually had been a gas station. They have now converted that into a work. It's smaller, but they've converted that now into a choo-choo station with a convenience store.
Okay. So basically, Thomas Liquors is the one we're in, correct?
No, Thomas Liquors is the ones you guys took.
Okay. That's
you
the one
basically
that
decorated that with your leg.
Well, yeah. A little arterial spray always helps the interior.
Exactly. You were just laying claim.
And that's where Doc's shop is.
It
Yes.
can be if you want. At this point, you guys haven't gotten all that built up yet, but it can be. Right now, it's completely cleaned out, and you guys, there's enough serviceable work that you have done in the time frame of the 2 month or 3 month time lapse that it's basically ready for whatever you want it to be. Like you've gone through double checked electricity, it does have power. You've double checked the outlets to make sure that nothing's faulty in there. You have installed lighting. Otherwise, it's because it was a liquor store. It's all open floor plan. There's one small room for an office, and there's one small room which had like a closet with a toilet.
So
You're going to need to sit down and think about how you want to remodel that and make it probably better for your surgical needs. But so go ahead, Shelley.
So would there be a place to create living quarters in any of the buildings close to the garage?
You would actually have to build that up. But if you look at because there's that liquor store that you guys took over, that's no longer a liquor store. Then there's the garage back there, which that's fully repaired at this point. It didn't really take much damage. So Vanover's garage is still in place, but there's that giant open lot back there.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that's
because I would
nobody's
like to.
obviously doing anything with that. So if you guys want to invest and build that up or something, or like jury rig something off of one of the nearby buildings and kind of convert that using the back
That
lot there,
would be
you're
a
welcome to.
prime location for a clubhouse.
But there was a former restaurant right just directly north of that lot, which actually has pretty good burgers in real life.
So
Yeah,
could
good.
Octavia also been getting work through Vanover's during this time too, helping him with any vehicle repairs?
That was the other thing that I was that you guys are going to need to probably sit down and decide tonight what you want to do. You have disgruntled pilot who needs his vehicle replaced,
Mhm.
which that has not happened yet. And you have a mechanic who you've pretty much taken over his shop without really discussing it with him. So you're probably, so if you're, my suggestion here is instead of just trying to be mercs, you may want to try to be just an actual mercenary company, even if it's kind of small, and bringing some of these people on as like your support staff. 'Cause
Yeah,
it
that
never
was
hurts
mentioned
to have
last
another
time,
pilot.
actually.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that last time
And I
because we
think
were
we
talking about bringing Vanover in.
yeah, and I think one of the reasons we paused was Solus wasn't present, and there was
Oh,
something
let's
else.
not pretend
Yeah,
I
well,
was
and
going
you
to
were
be
missing a
present
leg.
anyways.
Yeah. Well, the leg
Um,
I could have gotten by. I
right.
could have,
Oh, did
just
you?
told Sam what I wanted and I've been done with it.
So what did you do about your leg? Did you get a cyber leg?
Yeah, I didn't know what I should do about
You're going to need
getting
to roll
that.
your humanity loss, and then of
Uh,
course anything else you want to throw into the leg. You know, like
okay. I was pretty reasonable about it. It was a
holster
cyber
pockets,
leg,
armor,
real
whatever.
skin, standard foot, speedwear, and a pop-up gun.
Okay, speedwear on one leg.
Speedwear, yeah,
Okay, because you don't have two cyber legs.
I know.
So
He's gonna hop it.
He's gonna hop it like
Well,
he's never
actually,
been hopped before.
it was more for the fact I wanted to be able to jump.
you would actually need both legs in order to do that.
Okay. It was a nice try.
I don't know. We could
But
have
if you did
nicknamed
real
you
skin,
Tigger.
that's fine. If you did the holster in there for like the extra space to hold a pistol, pull the RoboCop thing, that's great too.
I just have this
you adjust
vision of a
your,
dude running really fast in circles.
Yeah, I know. Just like, basically, his flesh leg is really the only thing kind of holding him in place, and his grass leg is just kind of spinning him around.
He just
I was
needs
thinking
one
of-
roller shoe, maybe with a little rocket propeller.
No. You just get a cyber foot for the meat leg that has a roller skate in it, and the full cyber leg is the one that propels you.
Or you just
That
get
would be
those
one way to.
Or you just get those shoes with little doolies in it.
Yeah,
And
that would be the one.
then we
That
could
would,
do moving target shooting. I could hold the targets and Ghost can try and shoot it while I roll down the
there you
street.
go.
And
So-
meanwhile,
Or
I
you
was
could be
just
the
thinking your
distraction
son
for
and
the
you-
enemy.
So make sure then you go into the channel, roll your humanity loss, mark off because you guys got the money for it. Mark off the cost that it's going to take for the cyber leg,
Mhm.
and then any additional additives you add on there, which that will take off some humanity
So-
as well.
My other question is then, Jerome, because they pretty much hired Octavia. She was supposed to make so much a month from the group. So who takes care of the wages?
That is a great question to ask in character.
Because you owe
That
me
would be
3
going
months.
to
Not
Sam.
it.
You owe me 3 months of wages.
Not it. Not it.
What I
You're the one with the account control. That
what
goes
I
to
will
you.
also say is that when you guys were brought back to the Molinar clan out in Goodyear, you're able to lay low for a bit as everything was starting to die down. They helped you repair Franken truck for free. So that
Nice.
didn't end up costing you anything. The reloads in total, it's probably going to set you back by about 10,000. They had some that they could spare, but otherwise you're able to get the rest. So Franken
Sam, are
truck
you-
is up in operation at this point. After the fallout of that fight, what the news media ended up reporting was that the nomad clans went to war with the Harbingers, and the Harbingers are no more. This has now created a power vacuum outside of Phoenix proper, with the other gangs attempting to vie for territory. So that's been kind of the ongoing struggle now on the outskirts of town. So there's been some minor bouts of violence. There's been some jockeying about. There's been outright violence at times. but nothing to the extent of what you guys saw previously. Like it would be like a gangland shootout every once in a while, which is another reason why people are starting to move closer to you guys. So Maryvale is starting to kind of take up excess population in the combat zone,
Okay.
for lack of a better term. It's basically, it's, I mean, there were always a few people there and around, but now people are starting to congregate more kind of around your location. And as such, they're starting to claim buildings and businesses and homes and apartments and whatnot. So you actually have a small little population around you. Last you checked, it's probably somewhere in the range of 200.
Okay. Jerome, the gangs involved in expansion are probably aces and eights and RLs.
All of them.
All of them? Okay.
All of them.
Because that's a little bit far for Quinn's and Razor's Edge.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Everybody is trying to vie for power at this point because everyone was kept in check by the harbingers.
So I
For
have
better or
one
worse.
last. I have one last question
What?
on my list. So, how do I? Because mine was born a nomad, she's trying to get back into the nomad life. Where is she now after spending time with some of the clans?
That's another great question. You'll probably want to role play. Right now, you have a rep of 2. You don't have any starting. Do you have any family background?
No, you wouldn't let me have it. You said
Well, no,
I had
right.
to. I had to
didn't
earn
know-
that.
Yeah, you didn't actually roll it up in your background or in a
Right.
life
It did,
path.
yeah,
Okay.
it didn't come up because remember she got adopted.
Yep. Okay. So then, yeah, you're not actually a nomad as of yet. You're going to need to work on basically making those ties. But you're already on the right path. You participated in this big firefight, and you're starting to get your name kind of known. You're just really going to... You've played Cyberpunk 2077, right?
The video game? Yeah.
Yes. Have you at least gotten as far to where you kind of getting good with the nomads in that game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, she
ultimately same kind
yeah.
of thing. You've got to do something. You have to do enough for them that they want to include you in this.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw mine and Dale's interaction about what we were going to do when we were healthy, which is run traffic back and forth for our clans. We service one clan outbound and service the other clan inbound from going to California. That also didn't occur to me till afterwards. If Kelly wanted to like make contact with her people on the coast, I gave her that option as well when we were. So
Yeah, because I know that's one of Octavia's big bucket list thing is to get back with the nomad family, go back to her roots.
So yeah,
It
we
just
can
depends
make you
if that's
part
where
of
my
that.
family is. We didn't
Yeah,
really
we can
pick
make
a-
that part of what we were planning. Let the 2 girls run with us when we make those runs.
Okay,
That would be
sounds good.
something, there's
Okay.
still most of our downtime doing that. So
That's the end of my list.
Yep. So that
My
is
housekeeping.
where we're at as of this point.
Oh no, Brittany has something.
What?
Sorry, you didn't say 3 months were gonna pass.
I know because I said it now.
So Sam would have focused on trying to keep abreast of all of the goings on, so the different gangs and stuff, and like what areas are safe and what areas are contested and all of that. Like she would have tried really hard to stay on top of that for the news for her channel.
Yeah.
So and also to keep her her identity or her reporter identity secret, she would have tried to balance the news that she would be writing about our group versus the news about other things.
Okay. Yeah.
Just FYI.
Sure. So basically, you are starting to trend on a subreddit in the local city net.
Okay.
And that's kind of where you started to pull most of your traffic. So now with your rep, which speaking of which, your rep is for Sunny.
The reporter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the reason why you got such a big rep is because you're filming it.
Okay.
So you are you were starting to become kind of a source of the live action. Like I know you haven't played much of Cyberpunk 2077, but there is a media agent who actually goes with Johnny at one point, and he's filming like everything happening. That's basically what you're doing, and because you're getting it like first person view and whatnot, people who are really into that and not into not so much into the sanitized stuff that the TV shows are putting out, you're getting a lot more hits. So you're commonly getting more along the lines of like 10,000 some odd views as opposed to where you were getting before.
Okay, and if she's ever on camera, she tries to be, I mean, like, as an impartial person, not as like a participant. She wears the sunny outfit,
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay.
which I haven't actually really worn since game one. So, whatever.
That's okay.
Okay. How are we meeting Mike? Am I going to assume we already met and included him?
Don't sweat that. I've got that's in the works.
He has
He
plans.
will be revealed to us at a dramatically appropriate
moment.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here I come to save the day.
Party. That he parties, he rocks, and he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So at this point, we're going to assume that you guys are now meeting back up at ye old Vanover's garage.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, to discuss some of the things. Well, I should say some of the things that just got brought up, and what you want to do for your future.
Okay.
Yep. So Octavia would be working on one of his vehicles,
Who's
just Vanover's, whatever he's got in the
Vanover's
shop.
garage? Sure.
Mhm. Just to kind of help him out since they do kind of crimp his style.
So you guys are currently working on. You're currently working on a 2002 purple neon.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your tech in basic tech.
Okay.
Super basic tech.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's a little bit early to use that reroll.
Emotional damage.
18.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's what you're doing right now. It's all pretty standard stuff. All they're really doing at this point is like replacing some fuel filters and making sure the fuel injectors are working correctly, and working probably on some sort of smart setup so they can jack into the car.
Okay. That's what she's doing when everybody gets there.
So I don't know who wants to take that
Stolas
away,
is-
but go ahead.
Alrighty. So we'll meet at Thomas Liquors, which is the informal clubhouse at this point.
Okay.
That way we're not in the garage for the meeting. And everyone's mic'd, so everyone will get the notice. And we'll take it from there.
Hanover, I'll be right back. I got to go deal with some stuff.
Well,
But
his name's Mark.
okay, Mark. So water pumps in, and I will finish the jack when I get back.
He says, "Water pump? This isn't an aquarium. We're installing a fuel pump."
No, fuel pump. Sorry, I knew that. That
So
was
he's like looking at you dubiously. He's like, "No, seriously,
no
water-
fuel pumps in. No, fuel pumps in.
you're not like joshing me, right? You didn't try
Fuel
to
pump is
jury-
in.
Okay.
I promise the fuel pump is in.
Okay, because I still remember the sign. You know, you guys came in and like clocked the
I
sign and
didn't
wrecked
do
that.
the sign. That was way before me.
But you did blow up that engine.
No, that engine was a piece of crap and was going to blow at any time. That was not me.
I'm so glad I'm not here there to hear this conversation.
Okay.
And it got cleaned up.
That's fine.
All right. Well, don't
I'll be
mind me
back.
if I double check the water pump.
Yeah. You always do anyway, so go ahead.
I got a reputation to stake here. It's my name on the building.
Yeah, but I'm bringing in more money for you.
You're helping. You're not bringing in more money necessarily. If you want to bring in more money, go stand outside and show some stuff. I'm sure we'll get more customers coming in.
You know, I'm going to forget you said that. And I'm going to put away my wrench right now.
Okay,
I'll-
well, you've got to go. If you've got a meeting, then go to your meeting. I'll double check all of this.
Put
And
it
I'll
away in
finish
your
the
face.
jack when I get back.
Uh,
Okay, so she heads over.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Stolas shows up on time, and he brings with him a box that he hands to Doc. And in it's written sober box on it, and it has 2 things of Narcan, 2 bottles of clean water, and a bottle of Advil.
Holy crap, you're alive.
I know, right?
I'm not talking to you.
Sam
You
is
missed
gonna
out on
look
the
into his
firefight.
eyes. Sam's gonna look into his eyes to see if they're like dilated.
Oh, he's kind of high.
Well, you're here.
Anyhow,
This is for whenever you guys want me sober because I've got to pay attention to things. Doc, here you go.
Look, Doc, you became a
Great.
babysitter.
That's
You guys want me
Wonderful.
sober, so I feel everything that hits me. That'll
Nice.
get me sober real fast, real quick.
Huh. Does that mean we don't have to have him wear armor, Doc?
we're working on a burgeoning reputation. Let's not taint it. I know where you're going, but let's.
Okay. So I was just thinking, if he doesn't feel it, how important could it be? But you're right. Anyhow, a couple of things on the agenda. We put off the discussion on becoming a mercenary group, and things have kind of snowballed since then. Inadvertently, we're responsible for, directly or indirectly, about 200 people probably right now. There's a couple of pluses to that, and there's a couple of minuses, and I'll go with the minuses first. People make us vulnerable, pure and simple. They also give us resources we don't own. So it's kind of offsetting. But it also means when someone comes to us with a problem, and if it's not overwhelming and we can handle it, we're going to probably have to look at it at a minimum. And Sam, guess what? This is PR. That's your department.
What now?
You get to handle the people, because we all know how well I do with that.
Which people?
The one in the neighborhood. You get to, what was that guy's name back in the 90s or whatever? Mr. Rogers?
The guy with the train?
Well, I don't know. But anyhow, you get to be our public persona, so to say, and deal with all the people coming with us. He ran over my chicken with that big thing. You can deal with all of that and all the other little things that come up.
Someone
Doc?
ran over your chicken?
Yeah, it was a mistake.
Is
It didn't
that
show
a
up on the viewport.
metaphor?
No, not at all. And Doc, the liquor store could probably be divided in half. Give half to the clinic to start with. Put probably a room or some double bunk beds in the back for all the people we don't want the rest of the world to see.
Like a jail cell, or
Well, no, we've had that influx of strangers from our past migrating through our life on occasion.
Oh, yeah, she's still
Oh.
around.
So a
a
safe
mother-in-law
house.
suite.
Yeah, there we go. Mother-in-law suite. More PR. Thank you.
So the girlfriend's still around?
Jerome, how is Amber doing at this point? Clearly, she would have been.
She's
Healed
a
at one
girl.
point.
She's a friend. She's not my girlfriend. No, she's around. We'll get to more details on that later. But after she recovered, she's at this point in town looking for work and has managed to land a temporary job right now with Bivouac 21.
Ah, yes. Good
Okay.
company.
And like through her, would I have learned who they are, how they operate, or anything
Yeah,
like that?
they are basically a K&R insurance provider.
Ransom and rescue.
Kidnap and ransom.
Dane works there right now too.
Yes, he does.
And I know the owner.
Gotcha. Then Skulls would be like, she's doing good. She's trying to get her feet under her, so to speak, financially and everything. She's going to be living in the area. She's working now for that Bivouac 21. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. We have the auto shop. We have a disgruntled driver from way back when, from when we got shot out of the air and we blew up the AV4. We have resources. We can salary people. I figure probably 3 months worth of salaries sitting there. So, we've got some creep room there.
Well, I think we need to do something with Hanover because I know Mark's kind of getting, I guess you could say, antsy.
Yeah.
We've kind of taken over his place. And I mean, even though we're paying him for the space and everything, and I've been trying to help him with extra stuff that comes in to kind of keep him happy. I think we either need to bring him on so that his garage becomes like an asset for us. I kind of want to talk about putting like a clubhouse behind in that lot behind his. So that way we can kind of have access back and forth between the garage and our official place.
What about that? What about that high school that was just north of here, where we found those guys getting dropped off? It's a fairly big building
for a clubhouse?
For a place, yeah, for like a base of operations.
So you don't want to stick close to the garage?
It's literally right across the street from the clinic.
Oh, okay. That was okay. Never mind. I guess I haven't really been paying much attention. I've had my head underneath the hood.
No, it's fine. We drove by it really fast and those guys were shooting at us. But I tend to keep track of landmarks. I think it looked like it was a school of some sort. There's even like a chain link fence around it, part of it, so that's pretty cool.
Well, we wouldn't have to worry about, if the structure's up, then we don't have to worry about putting up a structure because behind Hanover is just a vacant lot. So that's one plus.
Yeah, I don't do construction.
Well, I don't either, but there's others.
To pay people? No. Yeah, let's go check out the
What
high
is
school.
it that we need? And then we can find out the people and the resources we need to get it. What do we need?
We need to give Hanover his own space.
Give his space back.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have a driver we need to do something with.
Yes.
Oh, the pilot?
I'm surprised he hasn't offed us all.
We have money now, technically, like we just mentioned. We could take them on as staff. We could try to make this thing legitimate. We've got a place. We got people. We're at the center of a burgeoning small town now.
And having a pilot would be a good thing.
He's ground only at this point, unless we chip him.
Better than nothing.
I know. I'm just mentioning it. I've had a discussion with him before I got shot up on this topic. So he's not.
Was he interested in? Was he interested in joining?
What are we doing with an extra pilot?
Well, that's called division of labor.
Oh, I guess.
We could also take 2 vehicles instead of 1 next time. Well, I know I wasn't there, but next time we go into a war zone, we could have 2 vehicles instead of 1.
I thought he
really
flew.
A fast one and a really strong, protected one.
I'm pretty sure he got shot down, so I don't know how protective that would fast.
Yeah,
would be.
didn't he have an AV?
Yeah, I thought
wasn't
he
it
had.
an AV
Yeah,
that we blew up?
Yeah.
So he flies.
I don't know about all that.
At least
I'm
he can
just
play an
saying, maybe
AV.
we can
That's
drop him into like a sedan and have him like run into people faster than we can go, or he can be a distraction while people are shooting at him we're in the nice protected vehicle, and we keep our skin good.
Or we
Well,
just have him run
maybe-
errands to go pick up supplies for us.
Yeah,
Well,
you could do that. Maybe we take bigger jobs.
well,
Well-
that, and I was also thinking, there's going to be times where it would be best for us to take to the air instead of always staying on the ground. So having a pilot, I mean,
I can
wouldn't that be
fly.
beneficial?
I can
Well-
fly that too.
Before we get too much farther down the road, first, do we want to go Merc? That's the first question. We'll start with that.
Does that mean more
Well,
money? Or just more paperwork?
It means more
Since you don't
responsibility.
do the
which
paperwork
leads
to begin with, Ghost, unless you're volunteering to do the paperwork.
I mean, I guess I can. I know how to do the 50 forms for the military kind of thing. So
Well, that'll be a relief to Sam. Okay.
Paperwork
so,
is my favorite.
So, first off, Merc or not? First question.
yes, I say yes.
What about a gang?
Connotations are ugly right now, and there are a lot of expansion politics going on. Considering what happened when we accidentally dismembered the Harbingers, I'd prefer to avoid that if all possible. We may get tagged with it anyhow, but when you're talking about creating a little nucleus for civilization, gang's probably not the term we want to use.
And we'd be fighting off all the other gangs too, since they're vying for power.
I guess as mercs, we're potentially more friendly, more neutral.
There
Yeah,
you
definitely more neutral.
go.
Mhm.
They're more
Neutral,
hireable.
Good.
Much more hireable.
Exactly.
Okay, so Merc, me, Ghost, who else? Okay, everyone's in? Okay, first question's done. Sam, why don't you and Ghost, in your frequently spare time, look into what's required for us to be a formal mercenary company? I'm sure someone's going to charge us somewhere for it.
If we're going legitimate, there's going to be paperwork there and costs, sure.
So let's look into that. It's not a rush. I'm sure they're not going to say, you owe back taxes. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. They might say we owe back taxes. But in any case, let's see what the paperwork is, and if it's doable, let's try and make that a reality. Okay, next. Once again,
Amor,
it's some-
not to interrupt,
Yep.
Diminutive Demon just redeemed some points, so you have a free reroll.
Nice.
Shit, I haven't had a reroll, and I don't know how long. Thank you.
You need it, dude.
So make sure you write that down. And thank you very much, Diminutive Demon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next. Sam, I hate doing this to you, but you know you do PR so well. You get to talk to the garage guy. I'll talk to the driver. Tell them we're formalizing a mercenary company. And do they want to be part
Do
of
they
that?
want in?
Do they want in? And you can mention little things like Doc's going to be making a clinic in the park, and we're going to pick another parts from place where we can put people who are at risk, so to speak, out of sight. Sell it any way you want.
Well, he's got to be happy about this place kind of expanding because that brings in more business for him.
And we'll get into things like, cameras and fence and crap like that at a different day. But find out if he's interested. If he is, we'll see what's needed. Ghost, scout the buildings. Come back and tell me what you think's, your best option.
Okay, I'll see what people have picked up already and what's available. It's easy.
Hey, while you're out there, will you kind of look for a? I want to kind of move closer to the garage. Will you
Well,
keep your-
if we get a big enough building, then we can just put rooms in it.
Yeah. And
that'll work too.
Solus, when we start this rolling, we're going to host another party. So work on a list that's going to a song list that's going to have some appeal for pretty much everyone.
Except country.
You're going to have to put some country in there, sorry. Something cross genre that'll get a little of something across to everyone.
Oh, I
Don't wanna narrow
forgot. I'm not
spectrum
talking to you.
it.
I'll put on the drinking country songs.
There you go. Whatever
Friends
works.
in low places, 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yep.
Good time vibes from them.
No dying dog and horse though.
Nah, no, we're talking all drinking. I'll put a list together for you.
Okay.
And
And make sure that you let the Quins know that they're automatically invited to when we throw parties.
absolutely. And if you can give me a little bit of money, I can probably get a small band that actually play like the drums and the bass and all that stuff too.
Find someone you like that you can work with, and let Sam know what the cost is, and she'll hammer at you to get it reduced, of course. So I'll let you and her fight that particular battle out. It's a disadvantage to having the purse string, Sammy.
That's a good point.
Doc?
Don't worry, a lot of studio band players like myself come very cheaply.
Work on a list of what we should strategically acquire for the clinic.
Right.
And then I'll add it to my scrounge list, and we'll see what we can't acquire in indirect means.
Sure. Yeah, it shouldn't take long.
So I have a question then. Are we wanting to create our own garage then in this where we're going to be putting our headquarters?
Yeah, well, that's going to depend on certain intangibles. The garage that's there does a lot of nice things.
But it's not ours.
I'm sure that Ghost has a few modifications that include facilities that aren't in the garage.
I mean, because if we're going to create our own garage to do our own repairs, then I can start making a list of. Because remember, I do have some of my own equipment.
Yeah. Oh, I know. We're going to stay with the garage for now because I need him to think he's valuable. And then when we get to the point where we need the heavier equipment, that's what we'll invest in, and we'll make something separate so that what we're working on doesn't automatically endanger his property.
Yeah, and I like working with Mark. He's fun.
Okay, cool. Other than that, Sam, do we have any recent intel other than the Harbingers are gone? But does anyone know that Darcy was actually slain or not? Is my pertinent question.
Jerome, do I have any information about any of that?
Yes. Davina actually updated you on that one. Locke reached out and touched someone.
That's what I thought was going to happen. Okay. That's all I need to know.
And that's how she put it, was that because it's obviously not completely encrypted communication, but yeah, that's how she put it.
They had a reunion.
Yes.
One time only.
A bittersweet
reunion.
When you get a chance, Sam, send them something halfway decent at alcohol as a thank you for tending to our problem for them.
All right.
Do you want me talking to Hanover about anything?
Why don't you work with Sam on that one? If he's agreeable to becoming part of the vested interest, then you can talk to him about being able to do heavier mods and what that might involve. Okay? That would simplify it, but if he's not interested, then like I said, we'll move that to a different site. We'll let him do all the light work. We'll gladly let him do it, and we'll save all the heavy duty repairs for our own. That way he still makes money and we have our own. Not a big deal.
And right about
And it
that
doesn't look
point,
like we're
right about that
and it
point.
does-
You guys hear a tuned up car come sliding in, near the garage. It's like
Click.
coming to a stop. You can't see it. You can hear it. If you want to arm your weapon in your, you know what? You're paranoid enough, and you've been dealing with the drugs. He pulls a gun and points at the wall.
Whoa!
Y'all can hear y'all heard the car, right?
Can I try to guess
We don't
what
know
kind of car?
I just get up and walk to the door. Oh god.
Okay, Mike, do you want to describe your character?
Sure. You guys see a gecko pull up. It's a pretty basic gecko, but you can tell it's got some minor nomad mods. It's not stock. And the guy that gets out looks maybe like just shy of about 6 foot, and he takes off his helmet. He's got shaggy red hair, looks like general kind of Hispanic features, and he's definitely wearing like the kind of typical nomad driving gear. He's got a bow slung over his back with a quiver of arrows and a pistol on his hip.
And I posted up an example of what a gecko looks like in the Cyberpunk Facebook chat.
Okay, give me a second.
Oh hey, look, it's a gecko.
It's
Is
a
this
gecko.
someone's friend?
Okay, yeah.
Probably
Oh.
a nomad. Is it one of your guys's? And I look over at Doc and
I'm gonna go.
Not
I'm gonna
like
go
we know
peek.
all nomads. Sheesh.
We
not
ex-
all
we
nomads. We
expecting
might
someone?
know symbols.
Memorial like strolled
Like
to
if
the
I saw
door
somebody
and
military
kinda-
pull up, I could tell you who they belong to.
nudge, kind of nudge and goes to a little bit to the side and kind of go look and see if it's flying any colors.
It is.
Anything I
it
recognize?
has kind of basically the back end of it has got kind of a dark purple to like a two-tone kind of dark purple to black mountain look.
Molinar?
New
Okay.
Shadow Mountain.
Shadow Mountain.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Cheers, Doc.
So Skulls
Ah,
walks on out there and sees the thing. He's like, Shadow Mountain.
Chumba! How you doing?
Not bad. Not sure I've met you, but I've been in the Shadow Mountain area before. Name's Skulls. You? And he walks over to shake your hand.
Sure. He reaches, sticks out his hand. Visions.
Visions.
Yeah.
Pleasure. What brings you to our humble temporary abode?
I come bearing invitation.
To a party, a gathering? What?
I'm supposed to invite you to the hills.
What are we doing at the hills?
That is not for me to tell you. It ain't bad, though. I can give you that much, but I can't. That's not for me to divulge.
I look over. I'm like, a surprise party?
Sounding pretty fun, I gotta admit. Shadow Mountain.
Memorial looks at Ghost and goes, surprise party. No way that could go wrong. We've
And Skulls,
had
you would
such
know
good
that
luck.
Skulls, you would know by the mention of the hills. He's talking about foothills.
Okay.
So Foothills, Arizona, which is a community outside of Phoenix, Arizona.
You mean
Okay.
Fountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fountain Hills.
Fountain
Okay.
Hills.
Huh.
That's the other map.
What do you think?
Well, when does it happen?
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Of course.
So he turns around and looks at the rest. I mean, they're good people. I mean, if we're not doing anything at this moment, I know we were talking about stuff, but we can talk about that when we come back, I'm sure.
We can talk about it in the vehicle. I walk over to the giant truck. I'm like, get a top in.
True.
Sam, you don't have a hot date this evening, do you?
Nothing you can't cancel.
Alrighty.
We doing this?
Looks like we're doing this.
Yes.
You
Why
cool to
don't
go
you
out to
ever
the
ask
mountains?
me? Why
I'm
don't you
about
ever
to
ask?
ask you.
No. Why don't you ever ask me if I have a hot date?
We figured just be
Uh-oh.
working on cars.
I don't ask Ghost that either. Sam, it's safe to ask that question. After that, it gets iffy.
I'm not gonna punch you.
I don't know how to take that.
I'll jack in.
Yeah, I don't either.
Start it up. Rumbling
Um,
armored
Just
vehicle.
don't take it as anything and get in the vehicle. Let's go.
Well,
This is
like,
gonna
I
be
mean,
Nova. Let's do this.
Just give me a second. I gotta let Mark know I'm not gonna do the jack right away.
Right.
So that's what she'll do. She'll go and tell him she's gotta take off.
Sure.
Does
sure.
she know that she's been saying his name wrong all day long, or is that just me?
Mark?
No, she keeps calling him Handover. It's Vanover.
That's
I'm
because Shelley,
gunked out of my
that's
brains half the
because
time, and I know that.
that's
He says
because
that while you've walked away.
that's because Shelley's a dork.
That's fine. So
I
so
just
he's
shake
just
my
like,
head.
no, go ahead and do it. I've got everything under control here.
Do you
Shake
just
my
want me
head.
to finish up the jack tomorrow, or are you going to finish it?
Oh no,
Ammo.
I'll finish it up. I figure you're probably going to be out for a while.
And the fuel pump's good.
Yes, the water pump is great.
I love you too, Mark. I'll see you tomorrow.
Who's riding with me?
I'll ride with you.
Awesome.
Octavia, by the way.
Octavia, Visions. Sticks out
Nice
his
to
hand.
meet you. Yep, she'll shake.
You would notice, Visions, that Skulls does have some like tribal tats that would be indicative of Nomad, but you don't recognize it.
Okay.
As does Amore.
Okay.
Octavia has some too, though she didn't get it from. Yeah.
I should also.
Octavia basically has the equivalent of Chinese tattoos of characters she doesn't recognize. So it's like, why do you have a tattoo of soup on the back? That's
I like
Nice.
soup.
courage.
Also, I should mention that on Visions, most of him's covered. I mean, you can only see his head and his hands, but he doesn't have any visible cybernetics that you can see there.
Yeah. So she'll grab her dad's jacket and her small armory and climb in.
Okay.
Most of us aren't. I don't think anyone's got anything that's visible to you, unless you've
I
got
do.
scanning ability.
Ghost
No?
Ghost. You can see her cyber arm. It's
Oh,
not covered.
well,
Oh, that's
That'd be
right.
about it.
And Ghost has tats as well, unless you're like fully covered or something and covering them.
No,
Which
she had
I would-
military tats.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but you came from a nomad background as well.
Oh, that's true. Pirate. Yeah.
Yep.
Do we want to introduce / describe anybody?
What?
Yeah,
why don't
by
we
all
do that
means.
real
We're gonna
quick? Yeah, since
skip
nobody knows what Visions look like and vice versa. So, Sam, we'll start with you. What does Sam currently look like?
So Sam is definitely Hispanic looking. She's got one cyber eye. She's very polished, kind of upper class, but nondescript.
And your
Fancy
appearance?
chica.
And your appearance?
My attractiveness,
Yes.
Yeah.
8.
Ooh. Smoking.
Skulls?
Skulls, let's see. So yeah, he's like around 5'10-ish, Caucasian. He's got beard, mustache, nice looking hair, all black. He wears high fashion clothing, including a tie, kind of like essentially what you see me wearing right now,
Okay.
along with nice pants and shoes. You wouldn't see any obvious cyberware on him either. Attractiveness 9.
Damn. All right. Hanging out with a
Stolas.
bunch of pretty people.
Stolas is a Chinese guy with some really wild hair. He very much has the corpo look going. Long sleeve shirt, long sleeve jacket,
You're
nice
Chinese?
pants. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Nice.
That's funny.
That is funny. How long have you been playing this game?
That's our Brittany. She's so cute.
He's playing
It's
this.
the second
He's
character.
been
We don't
playing
know.
this character after game 2.
Sorry.
And your attractiveness?
Oh, that is a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Amore.
Okay. Maury, combat fatigues, really heavily worn, glasses, normally reflective, got a fair amount of scars, one on his face that seems newer than the rest,
Mhm.
walks a little bit with a limp on occasion, gimp leg maybe, hard to tell. Bulky, body a 9, attractiveness of 8. He's
Okay.
about 5'10", and judging by some of the conversation you pick up, has very little in the way of people skills.
Okay.
And that would be about all you get. He has 2 grenades on the vest, different types. Flak pants, flak vest, armored footwear, expensive looking helmet.
Okay.
Ghost.
And
Ghost is about 6 foot. She looks like she could be of Pacific Islander descent, but you can't. Looks like she might have had some work done. So there's kind of a very bland ethnicity. She's in like a khaki combat fatigues, boots. She carries a giant rifle on her back. She has a cybernetic arm. She's wearing like a pea coat. What was your other old character's jacket? Was it longer or was it shorter?
Oh, it was a long coat.
Yeah, so it was long coat. Sleeves or no sleeves? Because I never remembered that.
It had sleeves, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
It has no
I think
sleeves. I'm
it
pretty
had-
sure because it got blown up. So
It had sleeves but no shirt.
oh, that's right. Okay, so the jacket has no
He barely
sleeves.
wore pants.
No sleeves, long jacket. Her hair is striped and spiky, and yeah, and she jumps into a large armored vehicle that has a big gun on top and a lot of armor on it.
And the tractor
Cool.
5.
5. Okay. Oh, and as an FYI, Mike, the vehicle that they're piling into, it looks like somebody took a 2.5-ton truck and decided, I want to make this into an APC. And somewhere along the line, they turned it into a rather an APC. They turned it into an infantry fighting vehicle. So
Okay.
it's pretty tricked out for what a 2.5-ton truck might actually be.
I'm guessing it's no longer 2.5 tons.
No.
No.
But that's
Yeah.
basically the name. It's like
Yeah.
as the frame. and
Heavily armored, I assume.
everything. Yes.
Mhm.
that and a 30 millimeter chain gun.
And Octavia.
Octavia is around 22 years of age. She is short. She's about 5'2". She's got long purple hair. Her style is kind of like bad lady chic. She is their techie. She is Eastern Europe, and she speaks English, of course, with a slight Romanian accent. She has scars from where somebody tried to rip out. Well, they did. They ripped out some of her cyberware. So she's got scars that took her attractiveness down to a 3.
Oof.
And she's the mouth of the group.
Okay. And I should mention that Vision's attractiveness is a 4, so he's not
Yeah.
exactly.
And
pretty
her
people.
dad's jacket, it has Snake Nation on
Oh.
it.
All right. So he's seeing a couple of hints of nomad, at least history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Mhm.
jacket is very, very worn. You can tell it's been through hell and back.
Sure.
All right.
Cool.
So you guys hop in your respective vehicles and head on out. Are you hot dogging at Visions, or are you just driving normal?
Visions doesn't do anything except hot dog it. So
Okay. So go ahead
That's
and
perfect for Octavia.
give me a reflex and get a character sheet pulled up here real quick.
I'm rolling in the APC. I'm just saying.
That I know, yeah. There's no car.
27.
What did you roll?
I rolled driving.
Driving. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember the name of the skill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I rolled driving. 27.
Oh shit! Ghost noticed. She'd be like, "Oh no, look, he can drive."
So
You just got a point.
So he puts it into gear. And in a moment, you hear "My life be like ooh ah." from Tokyo Drift as he just like pulls out, drifts around a corner, and hits out onto the freeway. Obviously, the truck cannot compete with the speed.
Right. And I'm not trying to lose them. So, I'll play around a bit and make sure that I can see him in the rear and then
Sure.
let him catch up.
So did you do all your own modifications?
Oh, no, he's actually has a nation that he runs with. So he actually has
No,
a
were
clan.
you asking in character or out of character?
Yeah, in character.
Okay.
She's talking about his car, his vehicle.
Oh, no. No, I have enough tech skills to, keep her running if I need to, but I'm a driver. And that is like
sweet.
my focus. I love driving. I love piloting. I love being behind the wheel. That's how I got the name Visions, because I basically don't have any cybernetics, and some of my clan brothers and sisters thought that I sort of they think I go into this like trance like state, or at least that's what they say I look like.
35 on my drive.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it sounds sweet. I kind of know my way around vehicles. So
Yeah.
it sounds good.
Thanks.
So you got keep in mind, if you're driving a Franken truck anywhere, you can't take it into the city. So you're basically kind of taking a long way around Phoenix, coming up north, basically in through Quinn territory, because that's kind of Scottsdale area, and then on the way back you start heading south to Fountain Hills.
Okay. Anything of consequence to see while we're driving, Jerome?
No, because this is the Quinn's turf you guys are coming through. I mean, you see a lot of like tagging on important buildings or tall buildings that still have some height lift on them, that have the red and blue and some black diamond put up there or something like that, or the the red and black, to indicate that you're in Quinn territory. So it's it's pretty obvious, and you would see some of their vehicles around occasionally. Oh, pardon me. Because they're big enough. They actually allow people to live in their, despite the fact that they're kind of zany at times. They actually do allow squatters to stay in certain buildings and pay rent, but it's up to you to fix up the place. Pretty much what it comes down to.
Okay.
They act as inadvertent police in their area, which again, it's the Quinn, so it's always a toss up as to what you're going to get.
Okay, just checking.
But when you roll out of there and you come into, because that was the Scottsdale area, and you start coming back down south a little bit into Fountain Hills, it looks like up in this area, when there was more water, it probably was fairly green, or at least they tried to keep it that way. There are buildings out here that tend to look, or at least they did at one point in time, like this was a fancier part of town where the corpos might go to get away. Now, not so much. When you get to the downtown center of Fountain Hills, there is like a 2-block radius of some what were small shops, and they've got cabling set up everywhere to drape over, so that power and net connection can go here. It's very the aesthetic is very, well, I mean, it's cyberpunk-ish, but if you think like really enclosed places, like places in China where the or in Japan, where the population is urban and they're all right on top of one another, there's like crisscrossing lines, of wiring everywhere, so it kind of makes sort of a mesh. There is the remains of what had been a golf course right across the street from this small little city center. which actually has a working fountain, and there is some water in there. But it looks like there is a pump that's been placed in the middle to help kind of pull the water and clean it. So they do have some serviceable water there. So where once it used to be just kind of a fountain for good looks and kind of a perk to the area, it's more of a working utility.
Okay. I actually have the sat met up, so I can actually see what you're talking about.
Yeah. So so it's not like the water pumps to the buildings though per se. So people will still come and like wash clothing, or they'll get a bucket of water or something like that. So around the area, it looks like what used to again be part of the golf course has been kind of converted into some grazing land for animals to partake in. There's a few here. They're obviously not used for slaughtering, but they're used for repurposes, so like for their milk, or chickens with eggs or whatnot, as necessary. But there's not a whole lot of it because, again, there's not a whole lot of live animals much anymore in
I was going to say, have we seen this kind of animals before?
If you have come from a nomad life, probably, but it's been, again, it's not common. If you grew up in the city or around the city, then you've probably seen it, in like a holovid, but never live.
I guess people in 2023 may or may not have seen live animals either. Farm animals.
Technically, yeah.
He'll look over at Ghost and say, "He wasn't kidding about the chicken, was he?"
No. That'll actually be through comms since I'm in the front seat.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. Look at all them chickens.
But you can see that the nomads, they've got like a big kind of again, the aesthetic here is very much like it's like a nomad camp like you would see in Cyberpunk 2077, where they have basic rigging to set up where there's like a platform where they can, look out and get a height advantage of a tower and look around, which of course, they have racing like the AT-43, it's stuff that you would find appropriate for they're essentially some of it is business logos from machine or auto part companies, just because nomads by this point are starting to become the number one traffickers of goods between places. And that's kind of how they're starting to make their mark. So they're putting that up there as a sign to say that they do business with some of these people. But it's also got their particular colors flying as well, that that this is Shadow Mountain Clan up in this area. It does look a little lively around here. This is, for lack of a better term, its own kind of small little town. But it doesn't show, you don't see any sort of indications that PPD comes out here at any point in time, or there's any sort of, connection officially to Phoenix proper. But as you come pulling in, and of course, some of the guards in the tower kind of wave, visions in as they see him, come, rolling back on up. They actually have you guys park a good ways away. They're not going to have Frank and truck just roll up into the kitchen. Not with what it's sporting.
Wait, how far do they make them park away?
They make them park about a mile back at this point.
Oh, geez. All right. I will.
Yeah.
I will offer
cannon. Yep.
I'll offer to shuttle people at least and not make them hoof a freaking mile. That's kind of crazy.
So, that's fine. It's all part of the description. And hey, Vancouver, how's it going? So presuming then you drop off Octavia first, and then you
Yeah.
agree to shuffle people, or you could just have everybody just kind of sit on top of your car, and you.
That's what I was thinking.
I was
You know,
gonna
like
say-
a couple people on top, couple people standing on the bumper, somebody in the passenger seat. You know,
Just whatever. Yeah. So
faster than walking.
you
A
roll.
few people in laps.
Hey, that could be okay.
So you roll back up into the
Easy.
area.
We're not scrolling PDs in here.
Yeah. So you roll back up. You roll back up into here, and when you come, when you come running up or rolling up and bringing your gecko to a stop, Tunnel Rat flags you down.
What's up, June?
He says, "Hey, what's going on?" He says, "Looks like you got skulls with you. They didn't threaten to like blast you or nothing with that big turret, did they?"
No, it was good. It was good. A nice warm welcome. Is everything set?
He says, "Well, I mean, we got to talk to him first." And he,
No, I know.
he looks over to he looks over to Skulls and he says, "Hey, so what's going on, Chuba? Come on over."
Hey, Tunnel Rat walks on over. So, what you got for us? Visions tells us there's something planned.
Well, that all depends upon you, man. We thought we'd throw something your way and let you kind of mull it over a bit.
Visions is kind of excitedly bouncing a little.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Moore just kind of looks over at Doc and hits the sub vocal on the mics and goes like, "Your show, Doc."
He'll respond in some vocally, like, "No problem. They're good people. We can trust." And then out loud, he'll say, "Well, lay it on us. I mean, the more work, the merrier. What you got?"
He says, "Well, I don't know about work, per se, but I guess we'll have to see or whatnot." And he says, and he mostly says, "Hey, you, get over here." And it's some kid, comes running up, and he's got something wrapped up in like what looks to be like beat up rags, of some kind, probably towels. Everybody's industrious, and they'll reuse them, but it's his attempt to hide whatever is in there. And he says, and so Tunnel Rat takes it real quick, and he looks to you and he says, "All right, so we know you've been through some things in your past, to get out here, and so we were talking. You did really well with that whole like Harbingers thing, and you've been pretty cool with us. We work with you, you work with us, and whatnot. We thought maybe now would be a good time if you were interested to make that official." And he pulls back the the ragged claws and whatnot, and it's a leather vest with their patch on the back.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, why not? I mean,
Octavia is like totally entranced right
Yeah,
Maury starts to clap.
So you get some people like fist pumping. It's like, all right. So, if your guests are right tuned, then we're gonna get set up for a party to celebrate here. And he says, and like dress down, man. You're like, you don't want to wear this with a leather vest. You're looking like
It looks like a corpse. Looks like a corpse.
I think he could pull it off.
it's armor. What can I say? And he goes to the truck and tosses it back in the truck.
Oh, you're gonna have to walk back a mile to go toss it in. If that's
Or
Or
just take it
he'll go over.
Doc.
He'll go over to. Oh, okay. Oh, great.
toss in the
Toss
gecko.
it over. Exactly.
No.
Yeah, he'll just do that.
That's fine. So he hands you the leather cut at this point.
Goes ahead and puts it on.
now. Looks good. Congrats.
Visions runs over and just slams a big old hug on you, whether you like it or not.
He's surprised at first, but then you notice he gives you a good pat, like he's done that type of thing before, and he goes
Yeah.
ahead and
It's like, welcome to the family.
Yeah, and at that point, you end up seeing, and in fact, I've got pictures for everybody here, so let's see if it'll let me copy them into chat real fast. Nope. That's what I thought.
Sam is just taking mental notes and trying to be
Okay.
unobtrusive.
So I will have to do that in a bit. Oh, you know what? I could probably snip it. It works a little bit different on Windows 11.
Yes, it does. It's a pain.
Hopefully, this doesn't interrupt.
He
with
will
the,
take a couple of
player.
pictures of Doc without his coat on.
Okay.
I mean, for blackmail later, maybe.
So that's Tunnel
Great
Rat
movie.
there. Looks pretty combat fatigued out. Wearing obviously like an overcoat with no sleeves, but it's got their
Hmm.
yes, I mean it has obviously a couple of other patches on it as well, but the primary one is Shadow Mountain Clan, rolling off the back. And you end up seeing someone else start walking up, and you've heard of him, but you've never actually met him before. This is Wyatt. He's actually the head of Shadow Mountain Clan. As he comes walking up, I know I'm posting pictures here, and I'm not describing for people who are viewing. He's got kind of short black hair, shaved on the sides, wearing kind of a leather armor style outfit. Again, more a layered type of clothing, which is very common of nomad types. Again, also with a type of leather cut on that has the Shadow Clan, or Shadow Mountain Clan, I should say, and back patch, on it as well. And he says, "Skulls. So, I'm glad that you decided to join our little fraternity here. We figured it seems like you're already kind of leaning in that direction. We figured we'd just go ahead and make that official if you were interested."
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I hope you're not expecting me to hang out constantly, because I got my crew I'm trying to help out and keep alive. But man, whenever you need me, obviously you've got me.
No. We completely get that. Totally understand. You've got your own thing going on. It's just a matter of, we're just making it official. You're a part of the family, and the family's got your back.
It's good to be a part of family again.
He says, so again, your friends are welcome. We've actually brought in, I don't know if you know the place, but we've got some guy coming in from the Superstitions Grill. He's going to be putting on some javelina. So it's going to be, some authentic meat, and it's going to be preen. Yeah,
Chuck knows what he's doing.
he says, "Yeah, I've had it not too long ago. I'm looking forward to it. He closed down today specifically for this." So,
And I mean, it's real meat he cooks, which is amazing.
Rare.
That's great.
well, javelinas run wild out here, out of character. So it makes sense that they still do. So in this particular case, since they're kind of a nuisance, he just makes use of some time and hires people occasionally to go kill some to bring them in, so he can kind of make his mark as a cook.
I remember he's just talking out loud.
No, I was telling that more for Mike, because Mike didn't know.
Oh.
So he says, so go ahead and find a spot, camp out, grab a drink. Drinks are over there. We've got some starter dog, scop dogs, ready to go already if you're already famished. If not, you want to wait for the good stuff, you can. He's around the corner over at some old bar and grill that used to be in this area, and he's kind of rigged it up for his grilling purposes. It's smelling amazing.
Sounds good, looks good, smells good, my chooms. Let's get this party started.
Maury will wander over by where the javelinas are meeting their fate and admire the cooks.
Okay. Yeah. So there are like 3 right now on a spit.
Mhm.
They're just kind of that are rotating, and he's just kind of doing his thing, humming, and occasionally drizzling the sauce back over them so they don't get dried out. He's paying a lot of attention to this, and they've already got 2 right now that they're in the process of cutting up and serving out on plates because there's a lot of hungry mouths here.
Maury
And
will wait
they're
till
going to try and make it stretch as best they can.
Maury will wait till it looks like half the crew has been fed before he'll start up.
Okay.
Till then, he just grabs a drink somewhere and wanders around looking.
Yeah, Sam feels a little bit out of place here, having very little experience, or at least positive experience, with nomads. So she's just trying to blend in and not tip the apple cart.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, not Octavia. She is in her prime. She is so excited to be around what she considers family. And she's trying to get as much information as she can.
And for anybody who needs
Well-
it, that is I just posted in the chat the official menu. He's recreating what he does at the Superstition Grill, so you can look at what's available.
Yep. Irish spears. Gunpowder and brisket, yes.
Yes.
Phew. She's going to have some tinsy surprise.
If Visions actually notices Ghost, trying to ghost, he's going to walk over and just hang.
Okay. I think she popped out temporarily because she has to take care
Oh,
of
wait,
something.
sorry. I'm getting character names mixed
Oh,
up.
you mean me?
Sam.
Yes.
Oh, Sam.
Sam, right. Sam, sorry. Yeah, he's going to walk over to Sam and just kind of start small chat and try and see if he can,
So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And Octavia's also ignoring Stolas.
Okay.
So, yeah, Visions walks over and goes, "Hey, so how's it going? You look a little uncomfortable."
Well, I never really been in a nomad camp before.
All right. Well, I mean, it's like a city, except we don't have skyscrapers, right? But we got all our buildings, and I guess the only real difference is that all our buildings move. They're all on wheels. But look, this is just a big family. There's nothing to be freaked out about here. Like we're just chilling. We just want to have a good party with good food. It's gonna be Nova. I just want you to feel comfortable.
I appreciate the hospitality. People are a lot more friendly here than I expected. But
Well, I don't know about
I
all
mean,
people.
I guess I'm
I'm
seeing
definitely friendly.
behind the curtain.
Yeah, things can get heated sometimes. We're like any family, brothers and sisters fight. But, tonight's not about that. This is totally different.
So
Well,
how often do you accept new members?
Oh, it's not that common. That
That's
that
what I
doesn't
thought.
happen. Yeah,
Hence
that doesn't
this
happen a lot.
celebration.
Yes. Like you got to earn our trust, and clearly what Skulls did, he's in, but it doesn't happen that often.
Maury's going to hunt around till he finds what passes for the Mountains Clan scouts and basically see if he can't hang with them.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean they're around. There's a couple of trailers here that have sides that flip up that also double up as like a bar where you can get something to drink at, or they've got their their own vendors specifically like guys selling auto parts, selling or more specifically in many cases bartering. Eddies will work, but bartering's just as good. So they've got some of that here too. But if you're looking at that small area of Fountain Hills, where that little section is at, that's basically where it's at. So there, there's several buildings there that used to have some shops in them. Some of them still do, from squatters that have remained, despite the fact that the nomads are here. So they're doing their best to interact and buy and sell, with goods. There's a couple like clothing vendors or knickknack vendors. They're just kind of buying and selling stuff, or again, more appropriately, trading for goods. But for the most part, many of the buildings that are here are all taken over by the nomads and repurposed for whatever. So, like maybe extra, storage space, to get it out of the heat, or to help out with people who can't be in the sun directly all the time, or would prefer not to be in a tent. So there's extra living spaces and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Hey, Skulls.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't know this type of party.
Which is surprising coming from you, but okay, carry on.
But I don't know if it's appropriate to share hard narcotics with them. I don't know the I don't know the protocol.
He's all, I want to be hospitable, but
Yeah, no, you'll find someone who's completely, but be careful, okay? I mean, some of the stuff they get out here, they make themselves, and I've had to stop them a couple of times, not poisoning themselves, so you want to be careful, but no, yeah, they can get some pretty good stuff out here.
Oh, I was going to share a little bit of my private stuff. That way you're not just joining, but I don't know if I'm explaining this right.
If you want to share and be part of the family and be a good neighbor, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to partake and share
That's
what
what
they
I'm
got.
looking for.
Someone will help you party, Solus.
Yeah, like just remember when it comes to like being part of a nomad clan, like we have members. Like I was born into this, but that's not true for everybody. And we have a lot of combat veterans, and the crap that those guys took in the field. I mean, yeah, some of them are used to it. So
I just never I haven't partied with many nomads. I normally live in the cities and
Then you have not actually partied.
Partied.
You had twin parties. You haven't had a party yet.
well, he will tonight.
yes, says the guy who watched in the. No, you weren't there, were you? Amor remembers me swimming in a literal fountain of synth coke a
Doc was there.
a few months ago.
All right. I don't think that's new. I've never heard that. That's a new one. I learned something new tonight. I did not know that you could swim in synth coke.
He'll send over.
So proud of.
He'll zip over a file taken from other people's perspective of him on a counter, on a bar, swimming in synth coke.
Please tell me he's fully clothed or at least partially clothed.
Yes.
Okay, good.
He is fully clothed at this point.
My eyes.
I mean, that's a fair precaution.
Right.
Yeah, at one point, actually, in the video, you see him kind of, swimming along like he's trying to, on the counter, swim through the, the Coke and whatnot. And you end up seeing Sam in the background with, like a big old can of alcohol, and she's just like, woo! Sort of cheering him on, sort of thing.
That party. Yep.
Yeah.
See? I think I know how to party just a little bit.
I'm not
Clearly.
saying you don't know how, but you'll
Yeah.
see.
Oh, he
Wait
takes
till
off
you see
his
the
coat.
family get going.
He sets it on. He sets his coat on the gecko. That sounds like a challenge.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay. So what are you doing then, Stolas?
Quick, put a guitar in his hand.
God.
Yep. Although, actually,
You see Visions run off. He's going to go try and find one somewhere.
Oh, find a guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I mean, that's not a problem. Somebody there has it. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Somebody in the
okay.
clan's got one.
Sure. Yeah, so he comes back with a guitar then.
Like,
Oh, then he'll
look
start.
what I
playing.
got. He just shoves it in your hands.
Whew, now I keep his clothes on. All right. Cooking the beards.
So, what do you guys like to hear out here?
Me? Oh, man, I'm into chrome metal. Anything fast. It's good to drive to.
What about the rest of the trims out here?
Oh, boy, it's a mix of everything, man. I mean, we got guys that play like country. We got like techno, raver types. Like, it's a mishmash, man. And like I said, this is a very eclectic group of people.
A mismatch, just like your life.
ooh.
Yep, and I've never blown up a perfectly good engine either.
That was not a good engine.
Sing.
I have.
Oh, I thought you weren't talking to me.
I'm not
Hey.
talking to
And
you.
he sits
Hey,
there
how
and
about some of
starts
that
turning
chrome
the
metal?
guitar.
Stolas, why don't you give me a cool and resist drugs check?
Oh, boy.
This is not going to end well.
Nope.
Yeah, did you take any points in that yet?
I have 1 dot in resist drugs.
That's okay. I still have the Tangler gun.
Well, at least 1 point means you're not taking a -4, so.
Yeah.
Oops, that is the wrong number. Oops, messed that up. /R1D10. That is going to come out to
Remember, if you roll a 1, let me know, because that's a botch.
13.
Wow. Okay, 13. So you can't take the challenge without maximizing your performance. So you've spent the last 3 months growing out your pinky nail. So you've got dip in a little bit to the orange sauce and get yourself some of that synth coke and you're like whoa, whoa. And right about there you've got the guitar and you're thinking about it and Skulls is uncomfortable like looking around. It's like, why don't we check out that chrome metal sort of thing.
Yeah, Octavia's gonna walk away.
And so go ahead and Stolas, roll your what is it's
Performance.
yeah, it's
Attack play instrument.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, play instrument and is it under tech?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
16, 19.
Okay. So he decides. So there was. You're a little scatterbrained at this point because of everything that was being talking around you, and you start thinking up. You're like again. You're along those lines of like you're trying to be a party pleaser. He said there was a lot of different types or whatnot. So for some reason you settle on death metal Dixie Chicks. So you hit the chord to to test it out real quick to make sure everything's in tune, and you're like, I can love you better than this. I can love you better. and just like grinding on that.
I want to hear him play Goodbye Earl.
Yeah, because Earl had to die. La 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 la. And the thing is, he's adequate when he does it too. It actually, I mean, it may not be your cup of tea, but he's hitting all the right notes. It
He's
sounds
versatile.
accurate.
And he is slowly getting gonked out of his brains.
Where you got the
Although-
slowly part from.
That seems to be the par now, but
So at that point, everybody has they're getting themselves something to eat. Wyatt comes up and makes the announcement to the rest of the clan that Skulls will be joining at this point, and they officially, of course, give him the cut to have him put it on in front of everybody. And of course, everybody's fist pumping and starting to cheer because, of course, they also know that your group was involved with dealing with the Harbingers. So they're cheering at this point, and this young blonde girl, kind of wiry, muscle looking, walks over, and instead of giving him a hug, she slugs him really hard in the shoulder. She's like, whack. She's like, welcome, Choom. And she has that look of like anger is probably her most comfortable mode.
Anger is her love language.
Yeah. If this was Werewolf, the beast is close to the surface.
You're right.
Her rage is high. But she clearly didn't mean it offensively. But if you were a complete nobody, like if you didn't know better, you probably would have assumed that she was being, sarcastic and purposely trying to pick a fight.
Right.
In Visions, you know her as Saf.
Saf?
Yes, Saf.
SAF?
SAF.
Okay. Visions just laughs.
She's like, so what are you like, fiddlesticks fingers? Like you fix people up or something? Because Skulls ain't a hunting name.
No, not for hunting. More like fixing. Med tech, actually. Fix people up. You need anything else done?
All right, cool. Well, you need to come on a hunt sometime. Put some hair on your chest. She hits you in the shoulder again.
I might just do that. Do you hunt javelina for Chunk?
She says, oh, yeah. Pay's halfway decent, too. Kind of surprising.
That's pretty good. I'm surprised there's enough to be hunted and they're not just like hunted to extinction or anything.
Well, you have to talk to him about that. I've got no idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I got the time, might as well try that out.
Cool, man. That's preem.
You're going to do bow or are you going to do rifles?
Never tried
She's
with
like,
the bow.
oh, yeah. We need to break him in proper. You should probably do the bow. And she's just like looking at you. It's like, we'll break out the compound bow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Strong bad. The compound.
By the way, Skulls. Seth. You already know Skulls.
Right.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Saf. Yeah. Saf Wolf.
Seth Wolf, good to meet you. Yeah, you
Good
been
to
part of the
meet you
clan
too.
long?
Born here.
Good.
There's a few of us that were born into nomad life, but it was kind of rare.
Yeah. It's like proud of it.
Hell yeah.
She's like, by the time I was 18, I've already killed 10 men.
Here we go.
Well, that is impressive, I'm just going to say.
She says, well, there's nothing like saying I love you from, an Armalite scope.
That's pretty harsh love. Tough love there.
7.62 is my love language.
It's my love language too. From far, far away.
She's like, oh, who's this?
Oh, Ghost. I drive that thing back there, and I point to the truck.
A mile down the road. She's like, oh, it's kind of dark. What's that thing down there? That's like
you
cacti.
can't see that. Oh, I'm sorry.
You drive
I forget.
cacti?
No, it's an armored vehicle with
You
a
should
big
tell
gun
him,
on top.
Ghost, you should tell him how you shoot.
How I shoot from far, far away.
Well,
I
that
mean, if you could
Maury
demonstrate.
would chip in over the comm. Tell him about the plane you shot down.
Oh yeah. Wait, I didn't do that. That was what's his face?
No, that was you.
That was you. You got the plane.
You just weren't there for that out of character.
Oh, okay.
She's like, that's why I don't remember.
No, I got hit in the head really hard. Wait, I shot down a plane? Oh yeah. Oh, it's really fuzzy. I got really messed up that time. New lung.
You shot down a plane?
Yeah.
So she throws her arm around you. I'm buying you a drink. This way.
How tall is she?
She's about 6 foot.
Okay, so we're the same height. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Oh, the next song is Carrie Underwood, Before He Cheats, but as a chrome metal cover as well.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I took a Louisville slugger to both headlights.
If it looks like people are dancing, like if dancing is an appropriate activity here, Sam's just gonna go dance.
Sure. They're not dancing to his music, really.
Oh.
They're more like, holding up the irons and thrashing their head around. There are other spots that people are. Thankfully, he doesn't have like a big PA or whatnot blasting the whole camp. But there are other spots at the camp that they've got music on, or somebody's playing another banjo or something and just picking, and people are having fun.
Okay, well, Sam wouldn't go too far from everyone else, so maybe she's just sort of wallflowering with a drink and Scop Dog or whatever.
Sure. Okay.
Here's a question: if he's a rocker boy, I don't know what his fame level is, but would Visions have heard of him?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
Right
He
now,
can't
he's
stay
got-
sober enough to get famous.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just starting the Johnny Silverhand approach.
Got it.
Party
Okay.
too much, extol the virtues of probably sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and having nothing to do with big corporations. They can't own you, man.
Got it.
See, I stole their style.
And so at this point, an older woman, she's probably pushing 70 at this point, comes walking over, and
Mama!
she politely gives Skulls a hug, and she says, "Welcome to the family, Skulls. It's good to have you. I know we have not officially met. My name is Astrid Wolf. I'm actually the matriarch of this clan."
A pleasure to finally meet you, Miss Wolf. I appreciate the honor of getting the join. It's been a while since I've been a part of a family like this,
We heard, and when we heard that you were on the outs, but still attempting to walk the walk, I think the rumors started getting around within the clan, and somebody made a case to Wyatt, who then put it through.
Well, I got to thank whoever it was who put the bug in Wyatt's ear. This is great, and had a great time too.
She says, I think it was. She says, I think it was my younger son, Tunnel Rat.
He
so
didn't tell me it was
he's
him.
like off in the distance at this point. He's got like a skewer with some Scott balls on them, whatnot, and he's like holds them up, and he's like, "Hey, Skulls, we're gonna shoot you!" And he just goes around dancing.
What?
Oh, might need to get my armor back pretty soon, but yeah, this is all fantastic. I appreciate it.
Does Visions know what that meant?
What's that? Oh no, yeah, he's screwing around, but if he's serious, he's probably gonna break out like a paintball.
Okay.
Because that is something that they try to do if they've got the rounds available. They don't always have the rounds available for it.
So Visions will walk over to him and kind of whisper that in his ears, like, "Oh, it's not real rounds. It's like if they would have it, it'll be a paintball, dude. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Just roll with it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Put a big
Just,
show
like,
on if
looking
they
over,
do it."
like watching, like, oh, okay. She gets that real still, like soldier thing, like, oh, he's kidding. Okay,
Okay.
my beer.
Quick PTSD flashback there for a second.
She's like, oh no, that's the guy that keeps me alive.
Yeah, Sam like takes a step away from Skulls.
Yeah, her internal
Continues.
radar starts going off. She's like, round incoming.
He might be kidding, but just in case he's not.
Is the javelina
Continues
ready?
to seeing unabated.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely ready at this point.
So like Visions looks around and anybody that doesn't have a skewer of javelina, he's like running around and grabbing skewers of javelina.
Okay, yeah.
Like shoving them in people's hands.
Sure. And
Nice.
so Sam, at this point, you end up hearing in your comm, you hear this testing. Am I speaking to Sunny? Is Sunny on this channel? Hello.
Do I recognize the voice?
No.
Okay, so she would put on her like video persona voice
Mhm.
and answer, who's asking?
Oh, finally, you're in range. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. My name is Wash. We haven't officially
Wash.
met yet, but I am an absolute fan of your content. I take it you have like a camera and you run with this crew or whoever it is that you're filming?
Sometimes.
Is your group for hire?
I
have been
think-
known to hire out edge runners every so often. I might have a job for you.
I could definitely pass it on.
Oh, that's fantastic. So a visual comes on. He actually looks like Wash Ober.
Oh.
Like visually, like the avatar image. I mean, it moves and everything. Like he looks like Alan Tudyk from Firefly. Wash Ober.
Is this a two-way video?
Yes.
Okay, so if he's gonna put his on, then she'll duck away somewhere semi-private and like pull her wig out of her
Oh, sure. Okay.
out of her bag.
Before you activate the video feature. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm not going to make you roll for it. And he says,
Okay.
"Oh, that's rather loud. Oh, you must be at the Nomad camp. They're partying about something right now."
I've got friends.
You're
in
close.
low.
You're close by.
You could say something like that. Yes.
All right. So what's this about a job?
Oh, I don't have the specifics right now. I just wanted to know if you were available and introduce myself. The last time I tried doing this and I surprised the edge runners, it didn't quite go over very well. So
Okay,
I figured
so-
an introduction would be much better in this particular case.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Wash.
Oh, do you know that television show that they're airing, that Locktastic thing?
Who doesn't?
See, of course. I've worked with them before.
And how would they describe you as an employer?
That is, I haven't actually asked them, but they were paid well, and the job did go over.
And they all walked out?
To the best of my knowledge, no missing limbs. There was
Okay.
a firefight, but no, there
That
was.
happens sometimes.
Oh, of course, but yes, no. Everything was a-okay.
Okay. Can you tell me what sort of job you hired them for before?
Oh, a retrieval job, specifically some experimental tech.
Okay. All right. Is it on a scale of 1 to 10, how legal was this job?
With a 10 being, oh my god, we're going to crash and die.
Yeah.
It was an 8.
Okay. Just trying to understand the scope of possibilities. You understand?
Oh, I completely understand. But I
Okay.
assumed you seemed to be sort of the face of this group, so I thought it might be of value to reach out to you and introduce myself at first. I am a bit of a fixer in the area.
Okay. Which area do you operate in?
I typically operate around here in Fountain Hills, so I have made use of the nomads from time to time, but primarily within Phoenix.
Okay. Um, all right. Yeah, I can pass along this proposal. What is the next step in accepting such a job?
I'm just saying yes, obviously, and then we would, of course, exchange the details so that money could exchange electronic heads.
Well, I'm confident that they'll be interested in learning more.
Oh well,
I
good.
can't I can't speak for them as far as the actual job.
Oh, well, there hasn't been a job proposed as of yet, but I do have a few in the mix, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out.
All right. Yeah. I will definitely pass that on and uh, look forward to hearing from you soon.
Excellent, excellent. Well, do enjoy your evening meal and party festivities, or what is it? Whatever it is these nomads do for entertainment. Ciao.
Thank you.
And he disconnects. Bloop.
Huh. So she'll go back to her normal. She'll stow the wig in her satchel again
Okay.
and return to the group. But while she's returning, she'll sub vocalize to Amore and say, "I think I just found us a job."
Where I would go. Did you think there would be any coincidence?
I don't know. We'll see. I told him we were potentially for hire, and he will reach out soon. Guy named
Okay.
Wash. You ever heard of him?
Can't say that I have. Um, if something comes of it, we'll check into it.
All right.
And other than that, we'll continue to enjoy ourselves, and we'll see who we have to carry over our shoulder this time back to the vehicle. A not so subtle dig at the last time.
Well, we'll see.
So, with that being the case, everybody parties. You have a good time. There's plenty to eat between just standard Scott protein meals, as well as some actual food, and plenty to drink. Stop that. Somebody is buzzing.
Yeah, sorry. I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Okay. But that being said, as of the end of the night, Wyatt pulls Visions aside, and he says, basically, and during the party, he says, "I would like you to keep an eye on Skulls, in what it is that he does with this group, as he's new to the family." It obviously wouldn't look good if on his next outing he turned up dead.
Oh, okay. Are you asking me to bodyguard him?
I'm not saying bodyguard him so much as help him out and help him get acclimated to our ways, as well as maybe pitch in and help this group. This group of edge runners, whatever they're calling themselves, seem to be on the cusp of starting to affect things in the city, and it would be good if we had more of an in there. I'm not saying skulls wouldn't help with that. I just think more the merrier in this sense.
Yeah, man.
Especially with the way the gang situation is starting to pan out. It's getting ugly out there.
Cool. I'm super chill with it. I can do it. Happy to. Yeah, man. So, basically, I'm going to be running with them then.
I think for now that would probably be a good idea. It sounds like you've already kind of ingratiated yourself with them, but yeah, let's try that again. I want to make sure that our needs are met and seen. I want to make sure that he stays okay, and I want some more eyes and ears out there.
You got it. Hey, you know me. I just have a whole lot of friends I haven't met yet, so these are just more friends that I just met. I'm good with it.
That's why I asked you, Visions.
Well, I got you.
All right. Well, thanks, Choom. You enjoy the rest of the night, and I think I'm going to turn in.
Sweet. Sleep well, brother.
Hey, you too.
All right. And he takes off to go hang back with the group.
Okay. So everybody wakes up the next morning. At this point, probably crashed where you were. Face down on a table or laying down on the ground somewhere. Or how hard did Ghost party?
Not, I mean, she did, but she's got like a body of 8, so it's not like it would take a lot to take her down.
Okay.
So,
Why
she's
don't you give me, since you did party, but there's a good chance you're not like totally thrashed.
So remember that time I crashed into a stage? Yeah, so she doesn't party so hard anymore.
Good point.
Remember she was set up? Remember that time she was set up? Yeah. She tends to go light on the alcohol.
Last time you partied hard, somebody lost an arm and wants you to die a horrible death.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll... let's have you roll body and resist torture and drugs. It's just alcohol. It's not like actual drugs, but
yeah. So 10.
Is that the dog snoring?
Yep.
Dog.
Oh, you can hear.
Yep. I was like, something is purring. Wait.
So what do you get, Ghost?
Cute.
I want to say it's 14. Let's see, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 14.
14. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you are pretty tipsy. You cut yourself off when you started, getting that buzz feeling and preventing yourself from going too far. But you are definitely tipsy. You actually wake up in Saf's bunk.
Nice.
And Thor approves, apparently.
I'm snoring.
Yep.
Let me know if I need to mute my mic.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
It's fine. It's very light.
Like I said, everybody at this point is waking up. You're recovering. You didn't get completely trashed, with the exception of Stolas. Stolas went hard, all night. Taking requests for singing, occasionally doing some blow.
She would have started a betting pool with everybody else besides Stolas to be like, where are we gonna find him? Put cards down. The betting pool. Where are we gonna find him? How much clothes will he have on?
Then we'll have everybody roll a d10 then, except for Stolas.
Yeah.
Whoever rolls highest won the bet.
I'm getting on that.
Sweet.
I have to open Discord.
Right in the middle. All right. Say there's a chance.
Okay.
The problem is Stolas would have cheated, hands down.
So you're saying
You don't even know there's a bet about you.
Well, that's why you couldn't let him in on it.
7.
Vision's
Got an
got
8.
8.
Are we gonna have a roll off?
I got it.
Oh, there it is.
Steven.
Apparently not.
Steven knows. We're like, oh, pay the fixer.
Shelly, did you roll? You're muted.
Yeah, no, I didn't beat a 10.
Okay. All right. So Amari, you end up winning the bet. You got yourself 100 eddies. We'll say it was not a light bet in that sense. When Stolas, woke up, Stolas was actually, stark naked in the, in the pool of water, out there. Thankfully, he was laying down on his back, so he didn't like drown or anything, because it's not like super deep. So it's not like he, fell in and drowned himself, but he was just like spread out arms, kind of making a snow angel in water.
He went swimming in the fountain.
Yes.
With the goat.
I bet
Or
he
just
figured.
collects him and drags him out and finds him someplace where. Well, first of all, is he got clothes on?
No, he's butt naked.
No.
No, he's buck naked. His clothes are around.
Dude. Amori finds his belt and his underwear, and he belts his underwear on him while he's unconscious. And then he drags him to the nearest picnic table or whatever, sits him in it, and just drapes his clothes on him in various stages.
Okay.
With the pants like over his shoulders hanging down. And then he sits down next to him because he doesn't want any harm really to come to him. He's just like, oh my.
So Stolas, at this point, when you're waking up and you're finally starting to come to, your head is buzzing. Obviously, your clothes are starting to fall off you. So it was like you were laying in your clothes, sort of, but your underwear is wet.
We're all just standing around him, passing creds back and forth. You're right. We're all just looking at him.
He'll find his jacket and take a morning bump.
Jeez.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll again.
Hair of the dog, huh?
He just never stops.
At what point do we have an intervention?
I don't know.
When
He gave us
he's
11.
this close to going psychotic.
Okay.
I don't think there is ever going to be a time for intervention. I think he's too far gone.
I was distracted, but did you say we had a job, Sam?
A potential job.
Oh, okay.
It was more establishing contact.
Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, man, I really hope we don't have to do something in the morning. Okay.
On a scale of legality, I think he tends towards the not side. Just so we're aware.
Okay.
Who is it? They have a handle?
Guy named Wash.
Jerome, any rep on Wash?
Yeah. You know what? Let me get.
Yeah, would I have heard of him?
Quite possible.
Because that might have gone a little differently if I'd known him.
Yeah, actually, ditto. Because if he says
Yeah, we
he's
were
local,
drinking.
if he's local to the area, then
Right.
I'm going to be off for 2 minutes. I'll be back in a bit. Go ahead and talk. I'll pick it up.
No problem. Okie doke. Based on his rep and my roll, you guys have heard the name. He's not super well known as a fixer, but he is a guy that does get some jobs for local edge runners.
Oh yeah. Yeah, seems like a possibility. Well, that's good. Yeah, he's like a local dude, I think.
Skulls, why don't you give me an intelligence and general knowledge check?
Okay.
And Brittany is trying to remember the job that we did with him, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous.
You guys actually did 2 jobs for him.
I'm
17.
17. Okay. One of the jobs that he is known for is the job that Waifu and the Chrome Hippos did, where they lost a man.
Oh, so they didn't all walk away.
What is it with you and hippos?
Huh.
That is a good question.
Yeah, that's when Waifu and the Hippos lost a crewmate. I think he offered that job. So he knows people.
Okay. I did remember it being out of town. I'm pulling up my notes.
Yep.
I need to take like 15 to feed the dogs. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Well, that's great. But you only live once.
Woo! Only live once.
For as long as possible. As long as possible. Stay healthy, everybody. But, well, that's great. Good that we at least have a line. Do they have anything currently, or they were just for people?
He said he's got a few things percolating, and mostly he was just reaching out to see if we were available.
Well, been a few months, haven't had a job. It'd be nice to get paid again. So, yeah, it's good.
We'll see what the offer is.
Yeah. So you specifically, Sam, I noticed you were just kind of hanging out yesterday and last night. You weren't really mingling that much. Not big on the nomad life or anything.
Look, I mostly, get along when I need to, but where I come from, the nomads were kind of a hard lot, and we mostly stayed out of their way and just leave them alone, do their own thing. So you guys are the most nomad interaction I've ever had.
Wow. Well, hopefully it's good.
I just didn't want to step sideways and get bumped out or anything.
Psh. Whoever you dealt with before, boy, they sound closer to Raph and Shiv than nomads. I'm gonna tell you, because
look, I grew up corpo. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's a hard change. My parents worked for Corps after we left the pirate business. It's a very different lifestyle. Very different.
Screw the corpos.
These guys are great. Really hospitable. Food is good.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. I would do it again. Nobody, came out of it the worse for wear. Still has had a bath. It's all good.
Huh. I guess he did, technically. Yeah, it's true.
I bathe quite regularly.
In fountains, apparently.
And cocaine.
Hope you didn't denigrate that water with anything while you were in there.
Like
anything you had on your person?
Oh, those were in his clothes. Those were all over the beach. Bank.
Yeah, if you're wondering if my supply got in there, no, it did not.
Let's see, you took precautions.
It was up his bum.
No, I'll be fine with it. Don't worry about it. Like I said, sober kick that I gave the doc, so whenever we're doing stuff, I'm sober and I'm alert.
Yeah, that's gonna work real well in the long term. I can tell you from experience. That's fantastic.
Oh, we'll worry about the long term later.
Alrighty. Are we
That's not how
good to
that
go?
works. Worry about that now.
I'm
So
fine with. Where'd he go? I'm fine with the other nomad. Sorry, I forgot his name. It's long night. I'm fine with his idea. Party hard, go fast.
Yeah, of course you're okay with his idea, but as you see him like knocking back bump after bump,
I was sharing last night, sir. I wasn't taking bumps all night long.
You're wasting your time. He's not going to hear you.
yeah, I know. Still, I can't help but try, you know?
I would say I thought I heard a ghost, but I have more respect for ghosts than that. And he's looking dead at Skulls. See, two people can play passive aggressive.
Wait, you see dead people? So confused.
So Sam starts hearing the chime again from her phone.
um,
Ding, 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 ding.
I'll be. Actually, maybe you should stay for this part. So she's gonna pull out her wig and her glasses
Okay.
and put them on, and then pull up the video.
Okay. Hey, Sonny! Oh, you're wearing glasses. It was one of those nights?
Oh, you know how it goes.
Parties. Let me tell you. So
It's a good time. Yeah.
So I've got a potential gig.
Yeah.
This is Wash, by the way, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. I got that.
So if you're interested, I'll give you the details.
Yeah. What you got?
All right. Well, do you have any technicians in your group?
Which kind of technician?
The mechanical kind.
Yeah, we got one of those.
All right, great. Okay, so you're well aware of the little firefight. Of course, you're well aware of the firefight. You were the firefight. Anyway, so out in the combat zone, all right, there's some refugees that have come in from north of Phoenix. They've settled in a part of what used to be Harbinger territory. So the building that they are trying to settle is in pretty bad shape. I don't have the full specifics there, but they're trying to get it up and livable. Their problem, Raff and Shiv.
Does that term mean anything to me?
Scavs.
Oh, okay.
In essence, well, I mean, technically they could be two different things. Raff and Shiv specifically are the worst of nomads, who are also scavs. Scavs could be technically anybody who are doing that, but they're basically the worst of the worst.
Okay.
Right back.
Sure.
Is it just it's two specific guys, or is that like a
No,
metaphor?
Raff and Shiv is a group.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So Raff and Shiv are starting to move into the area, and they've reached out to me to find some able-bodied edge runners to help alleviate that particular problem in however they see fit, and then probably do a little bit of repair work on their building to make it more livable.
How many are we talking?
Well, the person who gave you the contract said it was about 20 people there, and they would like to not get gutted.
20 refugees.
Yes.
How many Raff and Shiv?
I don't have those numbers. The person who's seeking to hire the help doesn't know specifically.
Okay. Jerome, since I've been keeping track of the gang activity, would I have a rough estimate of how many there are?
No. Because
Okay.
Rap and Shiv, because they're like a clan, they expand all the way out to like Night City. So
Okay.
it could be 5, it could be 20, it could be 2.
Okay. Uh, uh, okay. Let's talk the other numbers.
Okay,
At this
well,
point, you see Amori do this.
Hold, please.
and he's like, "Oh, okay. Wait, what kind of
So
hold music do you have?"
you'll find out.
Okay.
She'll put that on hold and
No, 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 no.
Oh, you got the basic package.
Yep.
All right.
Amore, tell me.
This is a peacekeeper mission, essentially.
Yep.
Sounds like it,
It's also a combat mission.
right?
Which means ammo expenses are their cost.
What would you ask for in terms of ammo prices?
Well, the last big firefight we had, just restocking the vehicle was 10K. So figure we're going to use the heavy no matter what, and then add another 1,000. Well, wait, Ghost is gone. Jerome, out of character, Ghost ammo cost me what? I think it was another 1,000 when I had to stock up that sniper rifle again.
Well, she just has sniper rounds, so you could probably look that up in the book.
Okay, so figure. All right, we'll figure Ghost is 1,000 for the sniper. Everyone else would probably be another 1,000. So you're looking at about 12,000 in ammo cost up front. And they can credit that. We'll draw off it when we're done. It doesn't have to be anything they have to put up. We'll just say, this is what you can expect. We'll draw off that amount, and whatever it is what it's going to be.
Anything else?
We're doing repairs and tech. Don't know what it's for. You can dicker with them over whether we supply the material for whatever is needed, or if they supply it. And see what they say in the way of pricing, and take it from there. I'll trust your judgment on that call. I'm just going to stand back, let you finish the rest of it. That should cover everything we need.
Okay. Then Sam will turn the video back on.
Okay.
All right.
He says,
thank
Kenny
you.
G, that's my jam.
Que bueno. All right. Well, where were we?
You were wanting to discuss the prices. Now, you have to understand that they're a poor people. They're refugees coming from up north. So they may not have much in the way of credits, but they may have more that they can barter with.
Such as?
Well, I didn't get the full details. I'm kind of acting as an in-between here.
Okay. So, what numbers did they give you?
Well, they could safely pool together 5,000. I know that that's not a whole lot, but that's what they have as far as eddies to offer up.
Sam will look to Amore.
Tell them at 5,000 we'll recon it, and if the barter looks decent, we'll recon it. Do what we can as on a first visit, but that's all I can promise on 5,000. I mean, we already know what our out-of-pocket ammo costs are, so.
They could have an armorer.
They could have many things, which is why I'm willing to make the trip out there and take a peek. We'll do what we can when we're out there. We'll see what's going on, and we'll take it from there. Don't want to turn them down because we got a rep. I'm willing to go out there, invest in the time, and take the crew out there to see what's going on. Once we get there, if they're asking us to go up against 5 other vehicles, that's a tough call to make. So we'll see what's going on. We'll make the trip out there. We'll help them out when we get there. We'll do what we can, and we'll scan it because we've already been there on the outnumbered side. I don't feel like repeating that one.
So Sam will get back on the comm and say, that's a pretty low number, but we are willing to look into it, do some research before we say yes, see what kind of additional benefits there are on offer.
So then you're provisionally taking the job pending investigation. Is that what I should tell them?
That's about, yes.
Okay. Then
yes.
I will send word to my clients so that they know to expect you. And I trust that will be today.
Do you have the location on hand?
I do. Sending you the deets.
All right. Thank you.
You hear a little email like chime in as you get the message. And it's got the address. It's actually up. The building that they're at is at an old hotel at the Deer Valley, at the old Deer Valley Shopping Center.
Okay. Thank you, Senor Wash. We will talk to you soon.
Excellent. So he clicks off and goes away.
Okay.
So
we're trying to make the
Sam will
transition.
stash her disguise again.
Sure.
So this puts Doc and Octavia in the visibility sector. You're going to front. Sam will be behind you. Me, Solus, Ghost, and our new friend will be doing the backup and walking around and taking a look at things. Everyone has their mics on, at which point he scrounges around in his case or whatever and hands the new guy a comm set.
You're muted, Mike.
Muted.
Das mute.
Is this different from a standard Mastoid comm?
Yes.
No, actually, it's not.
Okay.
No, I thought we bought a step up from the standard.
No, you have Mastoid comms.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. He's like, I got one, Chew.
Okay.
He
He's sticking around.
He just asked for the channel.
Okay.
You sticking around?
I am sticking around, chica. You can't get rid of me that easy.
You get 3 channels, Mike. One's a group channel, one's one to me, and one's one to Sam.
Okay. Noted.
Alrighty, people. Anything you need, Octavia, other than what we put in the vehicle before we head out? You're muted too.
No, I won't know until we get there.
Okay. Doc, you're cool?
I'm good. I have my gear in the Frankentruck, so if they need my help, I can help.
I would kind of think we're going to look at some form of casualty when we get there. Or they wouldn't be asking us to show up.
Right.
What about this guy? And she'll nod over to Stolas.
Solus?
Grab his head.
Fine.
He can always be entertainment. We may need a
Skulls.
distraction, and he's good for that, if nothing else. I mean, we'll see. We don't know what we're walking into. I can, give the lady some
Have him
work.
surfing
I
on
miss-
top of Frankentruck playing his guitar.
We need to rig up some big speakers up there, really loud ones.
I missed one firefight, and then all of a sudden I'm just completely unreliable.
No, you're not. At least here, and Skulls gives you 1 dose of pick me up,
The Narcan.
Narcan,
Yep,
and
okay.
all that.
Anyone dealt with Raph and Shiv before?
Jerome
Okay.
with Visions
Yeah.
yeah. Visions is like, yeah, unfortunately, they suck.
Maury kind of gets this really pissed off expression.
And so
Like-
does Skulls.
Like, you know how I said I don't have anything but friends I haven't met yet? Raffins and Shivs are the exception to that rule.
Let me put it to you bluntly. If that's what we decide they are, you don't ever turn your back on them and you walk around with your weapons out.
What he said.
Water, painkillers.
They're worse than cockroaches.
Except they're armed and chromed sometimes.
Often.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
They're
They
why nomads
suck.
don't need outlaws.
Yeah, pretty much. They are. Yeah.
So you've got the address in your communications. Obviously, Callie is taking care of something, but Ghost would drive everybody out there in Franken truck. And Visions, I take it you're taking the Gecko.
Yeah, I mean, if as long as the clan is cool with that, I will take the gecko, and he's got his pack and all of his gear with him. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
She'll ride with him.
Okay.
And Skulls will change out to his other coat because that's the one that has armor in it.
Sounds good.
So,
I
with
hate
you being all
Skulls.
official now, what does that mean? Does that mean you?
That means I'm welcome to go there and leave whenever I please. They're not going to draw guns on me. They're going to know who I am. If I need help from the family, I can ask them. But if they need help from me, I'm going there. I'm a part of the clan now. It's responsibility and benefit because you're part of the family.
it's a two-way street.
That's why we ran when we were going back and forth to California. So,
I don't
Alrighty.
like you right now, Skulls.
You'll be fine, pal. And he pats you on the shoulder, a little harshly to make sure that vibration goes through your back.
So here is a
Where's the
question.
second bottle of water?
There you go.
So here's a question. Outside of Ghost, does anybody operate heavy heavy weapons, I should say, for under reflex?
Nope.
no, it was one of the things I was going to buy. So,
Okay. Who is going to be the gunner?
okay, so what does it use? It uses reflex and heavy weapons?
Yep.
Okay.
My reflex is pretty good.
Got a reflex higher than 7?
7.
Mine's 7. Anyone else beat 7? with
Mine's
reflex?
8.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, but you're driving the other vehicle.
True.
I guess that makes it me, Jerome.
Or Sam, either way is fine.
Okay. Sam, you want to get up in the turret and, play commando?
I can try.
Please don't shoot me.
I hope I'm not that bad.
So,
Yeah, we haven't told her about friendly fire yet.
so keep in mind, Franken truck has, where did it go? I want to say, what is
It's gonna
it?
have like a +6 in total for
I wanna say-
shooting.
yeah, I want to say it's a +6.
Yeah.
Because isn't Todd our gunner?
Yes, because Todd has
Yeah.
heavy weapons.
Yep. That's a lack that I'll be picking up, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, I need to find the
What are we doing?
the stat. You're driving out to the scene of the job.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
APC.
computer
I got
sights +3 to hit, weapon stabilization +2 to hit, rangefinder visual +1 to hit.
There you go. Thank you.
I just tracked the document popping up. Okay. So it's
So
plus
+6
Yeah.
Yep.
to hit.
Yep.
That's it's all the additions to it. So basically,
Okay.
the weapon has been like properly balanced and calibrated. It's got a good
All the
range
upgrades.
finder, so on and so forth.
Okay. Frank +6 to hit.
Okay, so you guys drive. It takes you about 2 hours to clear that because obviously you can't just take the freeway like you
Nope.
normally would. At least not all the way because the conditions of the road are pretty rotten. No one's coming up around this area and doing any sort of repairs, so it's just laid out, blasted kind of hellscape, especially up around this area.
So do we run the one? Did we run the one over to it?
What's that?
Did we run the one over to it?
You can get part of the way there, yes.
Okay.
But when you, and so, Mike, I don't know if I've given this description to you, but basically, Phoenix itself, the downtown section is basically walled around. So think, and of course, the main mega buildings. Some of them have skywalks that go in between them. So think.
Mini mega city.
Mini. That's what I was going for. So think, mega city.
Got it.
It's not as big and as diverse as Night City in Cyberpunk, but downtown with a little bit of part of Tempe, and then up to up a little ways, a bit of the ways north. That's all of the Phoenix proper. Everything outside of that, all the other old districts, those are combat zones.
Okay.
Just because population, when everything started to collapse, kind of started coming in, and those that couldn't are just kind of left out there in the wilderness. So it's kind of catch as catch can, as far as are the buildings in working order, or are they just deteriorating because of the weather, so on and so forth. So it's not like a combat ran out here. It's more kind of apocalyptic looking, but it is fairly damaged, obviously, with gangland shootings, and so on and so forth. So that's what you're looking at right now. Like this part of town, the more north section of town, has been heavily looted. So a lot of the buildings around here are very poor condition. Roads, obviously, just not great at all. And one final note, even though I can't remember if I put it on the notepad or not, Frankentruck. Dang it, Frankentruck is not off-road. So, just let you know that
Is not off-road?
it is not off-road.
Okay.
So it's still
Do we need to
okay.
upgrade that?
It's still okay for most of the Phoenix proper, because even though the roads are bad, that's not the same as off-road. It's not like
I understand. I look at it. Yep, you're right.
so. But you eventually come into that section of town just past the 51, and of course there's the remains of an old hospital that, I mean, it looks like at one point in time it caught fire. It's got burn marks and just junk coming off of it. So it's, who knows if there's anything even useful there. And you come pulling up to the remains of a hotel that was here at one point in time. Was a like a four-story. It was a four-story. We'll say probably a Ramada at one point in time. Of course, the sign is completely shot. There's a little bit of the commercialized look to the external part of it. The building seems to be in okay condition. The area around it, again, matches what you see. A lot of the buildings around here are just totally thrashed. Even some of the windows in this place are completely broken and missing, and tattered remains of curtains kind of float out the window occasionally as the wind kind of picks it up and whatnot. But when you come in, you can see that there are a couple cars parked out on one side of the building, and they've got some tents out here. And by tent, I don't mean like camping tent, but I mean like tent poles and just like a canvas kind of, covering it to an extent. And they've got, they have what appear to be two people posted up front at the main entrance.
Okay. I'd tell Ghost to slow up a little bit. We need to come in here now that look like we're attacking.
I
And
get okay. Yeah. Well, slow down and.
and Sam, did we get a contact?
No. We can just tell him Wash sent us.
Okay.
Okay.
But Wash did send a word, send word that you guys were coming.
Okay. So roll up slowly.
Okay, so you guys come up, with this big intimidating machine, come barreling up, and one guy has a lever action rifle, like you would see in the Old West, and then another guy has like just an old carbine rifle. So it's like they don't even have very much in the way of armament. They have like some sort of tactical vest on, beat up tactical vest, but that's about it. Like these guys really the guys who are posted up as guards have almost nothing. And when you see that, when they see you come rolling up, like they're already shaking, and you can tell you're a good 50 to 100 feet away from them. You can just see it in their
I
face.
generally drive with the gun pointing backwards, like tucked back, so it's not like just I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Okay.
So we roll down the window and say, "Pardon me, do you have any Grey
Grey Poupons?"
Poupons?"
Oh, jeez.
Hello.
But of course.
Yeah, I'll roll up to a stop.
Or you roll down the window. Pardon me. Are those Bugle Boy jeans that you're wearing? But you come pulling up, and I mean they've got their rifles really close to them, and nervous.
I'll roll the window down. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we're expected.
They kind of like look at you guys, and they're like,
Wash sent us.
so go ahead and roll. You're going to add your cool and your reputation and a D10, Ghost.
Cool rep. A D10. Okay, that's pretty good. 15.
Okay, I mean it's adequate for a very easy roll. So they're kind of like they're not they're still a little stunned and worried about it. And then one guy kind of nudges real quick, and you hear him say something. And are you guys MC-12?
13. Yes.
And he kind of looks at him, and he like mutters real quick, "Sorry, 13."
Yep, that's us.
And at that point, like you can see them both like take a breath.
Come here, good girl.
And they end up, like, one guy ends up knocking inside, and eventually some older guy comes walking out the front, coming out the two double doors, or I should say the double doors. And the two guards go walking, with him at this point. Are you guys getting out or just staying in the vehicle, like right along the street?
Sam?
Is there anywhere for us to drive?
Yeah, you can pull up in the parking lot.
Visions will do that.
Okay.
Should
Amora,
I go
you were
out
saying?
with the rifle?
Go ahead and dismount.
Sorry,
You
hold
and
on,
the PR people do your welcome to the native thing, and me and the rest of us, Ghost, you're stuck in the vehicle,
Yeah, that's cool.
and you'll provide cover, and me, Solus, and Sorry, forgot your name.
Vision?
Visions.
Visions.
Yeah, you think it would stick. Me, Solas, and Visions will walk around and see what's in the nearby area.
Sounds good.
Rifle it is. He'll grab his rifle.
So who's with me? Octavia?
Brittany, Octavia, and Doc are with you.
Okay. So we go in, talk to them, see what we're working with, what kind of resources, non monetary resources
So the
we can
old
get.
man meets you guys right out front of the hotel at this point. It's midday, so the sun is kind of beating down, and he's staying underneath the canopy. Um, and he thanks you for coming. He says, "I'm sorry, we didn't know exactly what it was that you would be bringing." And he kind of like looks and he says, "That's kind of an intimidating weapon."
That's the idea.
Sorry, my name is Wolford. I'm kind of like the designated leader here. This guy's probably in his 60s, so he's got like a little bit of a scraggly beard, bald head. Think Wolford Brumley. He's here to talk
Do
to you.
you have diabetes as
Yeah,
well?
he's going to talk to you about diabetes.
Oh,
So, but he says, do you want to step inside to talk or something? We understand that you were just here to kind of survey, I guess, or take
yeah.
stock.
Why don't you show us around, see what exactly we're dealing with?
Okay. So who is with you exactly?
Skulls is.
Octavia and Doc are with her.
Okay. Good. Okay, so you guys come walking in, and he takes you while the rest of you guys are outside and doing outside stuff. We'll get you guys in a second. So as you guys come walking up, and in the inside, they have one other person kind of watching the front door and whatnot. The other two guards go back to keeping an eye out. You can see down here that it looks like there had been some sort of firefight. There is fresh blood splatter up across the check-in counter. At one point, he motions to it and he says, "They unfortunately got one of our people and took him away. We don't know where exactly, but we fear the worst." And he takes you upstairs to the second floor where everybody is kind of congregated. It's clear that they've closed the doors and tried to seal them, ones that have broken windows in them, to try and keep the temperatures down on the inside here. There's no power in the building, so the only lighting is the ambient lighting, coming from like doorways, door cracks and whatnot, and an occasional like flashlight. But it's not completely pitch black. And he says, "So, and I apologize. We don't have a lot of money, but we did manage to grab some things from a convoy unit that we came across. We grabbed kind of whatever we could to bring with because we figured we probably need something to trade with when we got to town."
Where is it that you're coming from?
He says we were actually on our way through Moab. It worked out great, and then when we crossed somewhere over the border here into Arizona, we got jumped. Motorcycle gang. We don't know if it's the same group or not, but they've been kind of harassing us ever since. Or I should say, we've been harassed ever since then, and that was 5 days ago. As soon as we got into town, we hoped we could make contact with somebody, and we found that Fixer Wash and put out word in a hope and a prayer.
Those that were attacking you, Were they wearing any specific patches? Anything they were all wearing that matched? Any
I
way you
got
can
to be
describe?
honest, I don't know. I think they were, but we were too busy trying to run for our lives.
Sure.
We had 100 people back then, and we lost about half our number just from that fight alone.
Sorry to hear that. All right. You mentioned that you grabbed some stuff from a convoy. Mind if we take a look, see what it is?
Sure. If nothing else, I know we're kind of relying on some honesty here, but maybe you could tell us what we have and hopefully give us like some sort of fair appraisal if we could at least get to town or something.
Sure. We'll do what we can. Let's take a look.
Okay. Skulls and Octavia, go ahead and give me, for Skulls, give me a, you know what? Give me a tech and your medical tech check, Skulls. And Octavia, give me a tech and basic tech check.
Oh no. Do I have a reroll? I think I do. Yeah, I do. I'm going to spend a reroll on that.
Okay. Uh-oh.
24.
Nice.
See, 27.
Nice.
Was that your last reroll?
No, I have one more now.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. So Skulls, you end up noticing that the group, as you're going through, some of the stuff is junk. Some of it is obvious. It's resellable. Like they have an extra cyber limb, an arm, so that with some polishing up and probably some testing, that could probably be doable. They have some assortment of parts. It looks like maybe they hit a medical shipment, so they grabbed like a bag and you kind of had to sort through it. And so there's some actuators and stuff that would go to the repairs of some cyber limbs and whatnot. So that might be of some value. It's not obviously like a whole device. So if you were going to barter for it, you probably have to barter for the whole bag. The one thing you do notice, however, and it's going to need some fine tuning, but they have a Sandavista unit.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. What kind of condition is it in?
It's going to need some fixing, so if you gave it some TLC, you could probably bring it back up to about new.
Okay.
You're pretty capable, so it's it's doable. I mean, you could throw it in somebody right now. You probably just wouldn't want to. One, for potential infection,
Right.
and two, you would want to check to make sure there wasn't like a short in it or something, since it's been
Sure.
kind of sitting out in the open and not in its initial protective packaging.
Gotcha.
Octavia, kind of similar. You see what some of the things that they picked up are some basic parts, like you've seen like some spark plugs, some motor wires or whatnot for replacement. So all these are they're good, and these haven't actually been used. They're just not in their box. So it's like maybe they just fell out or something, but there's no like obvious scuff marks or anything. They are basically new. They're not worth a lot individually, but if you package them together, not bad. I mean, it's automotive parts, and that's always gold, especially when dealing with people in the Badlands as well as nomads. Now, you can't go wrong with miscellaneous parts like that. You do see the other piece that you do see that they have is they have a it looks like it needs to be potentially recharged from with you checking it, but they have a power cord that you can drop into a car that replaces essentially the battery. So it is a battery, but instead of the big acid driven kind of the typical ones you would see. It's more of an actual like power core that's much more condensed. It would save on some room. And actually gives much more extended power life. It's technically something you would drop in like a hover vehicle.
Okay. So as he's taking us around, it's pretty obvious that these guys are like on their last leg.
Oh yeah, yeah. All of them are pretty skinny. They beat up looking. Oh, and that's the other thing. As you go around the place, obviously some of the rooms have been stripped of wiring. You can tell just like people have gone through and pulled out the plaster and tried to grab what wiring they could. So it's not safe in that sense. There is a backup generator downstairs that could actually be used if it could be fixed, which would at least grant backup power. So they would have a little bit of lighting and potentially maybe air conditioning if there wasn't anything jacked up with the air systems here.
Okay, she's going to pull Doc and Sam closer to her. These people don't have much.
Right. Yeah, we figured that
I
before coming here.
well, I'm sorry. I don't feel right taking money from them.
Do we know what they can do? What skills they have, if any?
That was going to be my next question. Maybe we
Yeah,
can make
we need.
some connections,
I,
get some favors.
I mean,
and
or
I
this
think
place is terrible and maybe we relocate them.
relocate them to
Oh, to
our location,
Especially if they know what they're doing, because they have
and if
some
they have
decent stuff.
skills.
They've got a Sendevistan unit. It does need to be fixed up, but it could be done. And that alone, they've got some other stuff here, but I mean, depending
And
on what they can do.
they got some decent auto parts, and I think I can fix their generator. But looking around, this place has been stripped. There's this place would have to have a complete new rewire, and we've got better places in Mayfield. And I think sometimes it's good if we just do a humanitarian job instead of a paid job. And I think this one should be our first humanitarian. These people have nothing.
I don't think this place is very defensible either.
No, this place has been ravaged. And we can also protect them better from
Home territory.
cockroaches.
I
Well,
mean, just
from the
moving them away from
cockroaches.
this area is going to protect them even more. So, Sam, can you find out from them what they can do?
Yeah. So Sam will go back to Mr. Wolford,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll say, "Tell me more about your group. What kind of skills do you have collectively?"
He says, "Well, a lot of us came from further north of Moab. There was a Biotechnica plant that they opted to close down. So a lot of these folks are all just like day labor types, just trying to make their living, some basic tech skills. I was in the medical field. I didn't. I'm not like a med technician, but I was in sales, so I knew the parts. I knew what to sell, how to upsell it. I had some connections there, so that's kind of what I did. So administrative, I guess you would say.
How set are you on this particular location?
I don't know what you mean. In truth, he kind of looks around. He says this was the first place that looked livable since we got out here, and we figured there's no way any of us could afford to live anywhere near close to town.
Well, unfortunately, this place is not very livable.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Well, No, but those who could offer better should.
Um, Let us regroup with our others, and we'll um, discuss what we've seen and what they've seen, and we'll come back and discuss.
Okay. Well, I'll be up here. All you have to do is just let the guys in the front know, and they'll let you back up.
Do you have anyone that needs medical attention right now?
The ones that did, they were already taken.
Sorry to hear that. And how many did the scavengers take of yours?
But they took 5.
5 alive. Okay.
Relatively close to that, I think.
We got you,
I
sir.
guess a
We'll.
better way to put it was they were still screaming when they were taken.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And how many scavs were there? Could you
we
tell?
we got hit quick. I only saw like 4, but we tried to get in as fast as we could so we could try and defend ourselves, and they managed to nab the few that they did. We were trying to scavenge out around here to find anything to eat that might still be left. We found a vending machine, and we had some Nuka-Cola and some bagged chips.
Okay.
Or Nicola, I should say. Nicola. Taste-a-la.
I was like, they have that here, huh?
I like Nuka Cola.
Let's go find the others.
It's rad.
Yeah, exactly. It's rad. Okay, so those of you who are outside, keeping watch and looking around, tell me how far out from the Franken truck were you guys going?
Well, Vision's idea was to start looking at the place as if you were going to attack it, and just start really scanning for, like, if I were going to hit this place, what would I do? So he's actually kind of tucked low and moved a little further out,
Okay.
and kind of going around, like trying to circle the place a bit.
Why don't you give me an intelligence and general knowledge check then? Since we don't have like military planning or anything like that for skills.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's not a fumble, but it's not great either. No, a whopping 9.
Okay. So you're looking around, trying to do your best to make heads or tails of the location. It's pretty open from the other side of the street because, again, the hotel faced the shopping center itself. So obviously there were like several rows where cars might park, and then shopping center in the distance. So it's pretty open, and based on the positioning, it would be kind of hard to tell where they were. The only benefit really is that it's open. So you might see somebody coming if they weren't very fast. But as to which direction, you're not certain.
It could be any direction, wide open fields, but there's no cover.
They could, yeah. They could actually be, directly in that shopping center across the way. I mean, it's hard to say.
And how far away is that?
It's directly across the street. So
Yeah, it's not far.
But a long parking lot.
Okay. All right. He's just gonna be talking as he goes, just kind of relaying what he sees.
Okay. What is everybody else doing then?
Yeah. I'm
He's
walking
going-
around. There was supposed to be a fight. And so I'm walking around looking for where, there'd be shells left, maybe on the ground, skid marks, because there were supposed to be motorcycles. I'm just kind of looking around, trying to see where the action was and trying to draw my own conclusions on numbers from that.
Okay. Yeah, was right out in the street, right out in front of this place. You can see that there were. It's hard to say where the cars were originally, but it looks like there were 2 sets of tire tracks that probably came to a stop in front of, not in the parking lot, but in front of the in the street in front of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So based on positioning, they may have been out there scavenging, out in the parking lot, in the satellite buildings that were out there, like, old restaurant or whatnot, and maybe, out and about, and the gas station that was in the parking lot as well. And they may have come running back, so these vehicles may have come to a screeching halt to cut them off before they could get inside. So there are some shell casings here left, as well as in the parking lot of the hotel.
Okay. So, 2 cars, max maybe 8, 9 people.
It depends upon how big they were. Not a bad guess, but depends upon how many people there were.
Okay, we could go along with losing up to 5 because you couldn't. You need at least one person for everybody you take. So yeah, that would be about right. It'd be 1 for every 2, so about the right numbers. Cars, not motorcycles. So, okay.
Par for the course for scabs, or Raff and Shiv, rather.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see if we're dealing with the same group or if it's 2.
Fair.
Not that I think it's going to make any difference in the long run, but I hate to think if we counted for 1 and we're rolling easy and all of a sudden we got hit by the other, I don't want to be surprised. So, okay. We all done looking outside, guys? Anything consequence?
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Stolas is standing up on top of the truck, and whichever the ghost Burr is looking, he's facing the opposite way.
Okay.
So if it's looking eastbound, he's looking westbound,
Sure.
and I'm pretty sure Ghost is keeping a better eye out than he can. So she's probably gotten that turning around as it goes along, and he's just keeping pace with it.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good. And then what we'll do here, since it's getting kind of late, we'll go ahead and stop here. We'll pick up next time so you guys can start fresh. Okay, so there is not going to be a Street Fighter game tomorrow night. So our next game coming up is Ashland Night Blood Ties, which is going to be on the 7th of October, which will be also Birthday Award XP for all the Vampire games there too. So that will be interesting. And we're going to have to see just what's going on in that game while we continue to play the Dark West, which that's going to come up on next Friday, which that is the 13th of October. And that's at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our Ashland by Night game, Blood Ties, is coming up at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday. And then the following Saturday, not this one, but the following Saturday is our Marvel Superheroes game, which will be starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we will be diving back into that and finding out just what the Legacy is up to yet again. So thank you guys all for tuning in, for saying hi, for the re-rolls, and checking us out on the video on demand. And we will catch you again next time. Good night, guys.
Night
Good night.
There we go.